Yo guys, what's up? Welcome to the fourth episode of the SGTV experience. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. And for this fourth podcast, I have a very special guest we have on Collecting with Spenny. How you doing, man? Tell us about your channel.
Thanks for having me on here. My channel's just basically just an all video game kind of channel. It's
Okay.
not limited to Skylanders or anything like that as much as some people may think. I've been labeled a SkyTuber by many people, but I don't know. I would say that I'm a bit more than that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Cool. And so you've started your channel pretty recently, right? It's only
Yeah,
been
I
out for a couple
think it
months.
was right before 2022. I think it was like November of
Oh,
yeah.
dang. So you are pretty recent, and you already has 433 subscribers. So I just want to know like why did you start your channel? Can you tell us that?
So basically, it was like right around when when all the stuff was coming out about like the Skylanders
Yeah.
franchise. They're like, oh, there might be another new game, whatever, and all these like content creators were making all these videos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I saw like Victor of Saving Skyland's video, something about that. The one that I know he said in your podcast, the one that like blew up for him.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's
that one.
literally the one that I saw. And I was off work because it was like we had like a second wave, whatever, of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And so they threw me off work for like a month, and I was like, I have nothing to do. I'm like, I feel like that's kind of a good time to get back into it because I had a free schedule and there was like stuff to be like content to be made.
Mm-hmm.
And like I felt like a lot of people were getting back into Skylanders, so I was like, well, I could kind of base my channel around that, and that's kind of I went from there.
Okay, so looking at your older videos, your first one was like just an unboxing, like Xbox, like uh, you know, controller, and then you do have a lot of Skylanders videos, obviously, because I mean that was kind of like the main thing, but you also do other stuff, correct? Like you do,
Exactly.
but you just do a bunch of games, like besides Skylanders. I don't know, like what are some of your favorite games?
Well, I just recently got into like the Skywalker Saga, and that is like one of my favorite games right now, like of all time already.
Oh, really?
Like that game is so well made.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. Like if you look back at like, have you ever played like the complete saga, like the old one?
Yeah, I have played the older ones. Yeah.
Well, it's nothing like that at all.
Oh, really?
They totally remade the game. Like I went into it, like I bought it, pre-ordered it. I thought it was going to be the same thing with just updated graphics like all the recent games were. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know how like the new Sonic one, they just updated the graphics.
Yeah.
They didn't even optimize it for like Series X or whatever.
Yeah.
They just yeah, but this game is totally rebuilt. Like I think it took them like 5 years to do it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Five
it's
years.
insane.
So yeah, I haven't played it yet. I want to. I thought it was just kind of like a remaster. I thought that's just kind of what they're gonna do there, but it's a completely new game. You say like they've just added like have they added like new stuff to it and like everything like that or like what?
Yeah, they like added totally new methods of stuff. Like in the old ones, you would just like pull a lever and stuff, and you would get to the next area.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, it's like kind of more puzzly, and like I don't know if you know, but I hate puzzles. But these are like different. They're not as hard as you would think,
Mm-hmm.
and there's different ways to getting like you have to collect like bricks
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. You can do them in different ways. Like you can kind of cheat the system and just use the force and like lift your uh your buddy all the way up to get it, or you
Mm-hmm.
can do it how it like asks you to.
Oh, okay. Well, I might have to go, pick that up then. But so are you like, is this just like, are you into Star Wars like as a whole, or is it just like the Lego Star Wars video game stuff like that?
I would say as a whole, yes, but also all the Lego video games I think are pretty cool. Although I haven't played all of them,
Yeah,
but
I think I
yeah,
played the majority of them when I was a kid. I kind of did fall off of them, but I don't know. I've seen at least. I mean, I saw some of your stream. Obviously, of you playing the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, and it looked fun enough. I might buy it soon. My birthday's kind of coming up, so I might buy it then. But I mean, you also let's see. You've played games like I know you've played a little bit of Alan Wake. I was there for quite a while on that stream.
yeah.
Uh, Are you a big Call of Duty fan? Because you did play Ghost on one of your streams as well.
Okay, so that's a nice little fun fact. Call of Duty Ghosts, my
Hmm.
favorite campaign.
All right.
I kind
Why?
of can't stand Call of Duty now. Like I don't play Warzone. I can't stand it. Like a
All right.
bunch of my buddies used to be like, "Oh, come on Warzone." I'm like, "No." Like, "No, I'm horrible."
Mhm.
And it's not fun for me. Like if you compare it to like Fortnite or something,
Mhm.
I would much rather play Fortnite.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. For Call of Duty, yeah, Ghosts, I would say it was the most hated or one of the most hated.
Gotta be. Yeah.
Um, and now, like, I bought Cold War last year only for the zombies. Like, I don't play multiplayer anymore.
Uh,
It's kind of like a waste of time. Like, a new game comes out every year. I mean,
sure.
with the exception of this year.
Yeah. There's no new one coming out this year. I've heard. Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I didn't even buy the one this year because I didn't
Yeah.
feel like I wanted it.
I mean, for me at least at this point now, I just kind of buy every single Call of Duty game out of respect, or like, or like just because I had them all when I was a kid. Like I bought Vanguard. I gotta be honest, I've not played Vanguard like since November or December. I want to get back into it though now that I've heard that it's only Call of Duty game we're gonna have for like at least the next year, right? Because I don't think they're making a new one for the first time in like 20 years because Microsoft
Yeah,
just bought Activision, which is honestly kind of crazy. But I think it would. Call of Duty for me is at least like a game that like I think needs at least like 2 years because like multiplayer mode, campaign mode, zombie mode. There is only so much you can do in a Call of Duty game. You know what I'm saying? Like
for sure.
once I had Cold War and I got Dark Matter, which is like the Master Cam and multiplayer, and I was like, I just kind of dropped the game after that, honestly, because like, what was there else for me? I don't play zombies. I'm not a big zombies fan, and I already finished the campaign, so like, there's not a lot for me to do, but it took me a while, so I know I might get back in the Vanguard, and Modern Warfare or like Warzone was never really my favorite game. I know like Modern Warfare gets a lot of hype. Personally, I don't like it as much as other Call of Duty games. I think it's a tad overhyped, especially Warzone. I mean, I just don't like battle royales in general, to be honest. But
Yeah.
especially Warzone, I honestly, I'm with you. I can't stand Warzone either. I just do not like that stuff. But I haven't played Ghost in a while though. I do think the campaign's good. I don't like the multiplayer in that game. I think it sucks.
Hmm.
And I know they had like they didn't have zombies, but I'm pretty sure they had some other form of like
Yeah, they
for
had
a while.
aliens.
Yeah,
It was like the
aliens.
first one, I think, without zombies.
Oh
They
really?
had like random aliens that look like kind of dogs, and it's kind of difficult, not gonna lie. Like I was playing it a few weeks ago and couldn't get past like the second area.
Oh yeah. Isn't Ghost the game with like the dog or whatever in it? Riley, is that what his name called in the
Yes, it
campaign?
is.
They also have like I forgot when they were marketing Ghost, they were like guys, look, we got like cool water in the game. Like the water is like realistic looking, and everyone was making fun of them for that because they just kept like pushing that. It was like you got dynamic water, and it was like no one cares really.
Yeah, and they're like, "Look, we have Eminem," and everyone's like, "Wow, that's cool. So is it gonna be a good game?" And they're like, "I don't know. You'll have to wait and see."
Yeah, I'm
And then
pretty,
everyone hated it.
and I'm pretty sure they also have like Snoop Dogg like as voice or whatever like that as well.
Yeah, I
And
think
Ghost,
so.
and I think they just put that into the new game as well, Snoop Dogg. So I don't know, we're just gonna have to see what that is.
Mm.
And I mean, other than Call of Duty, I have seen you played a couple Nintendo games. Like you played Kirby. I want to know. I honestly like I have never played Kirby my entire life. So is it
That was
good? Like
Okay, that was literally me. I I haven't actually bought like a Kirby game at release until now.
really?
And yeah, that was like my first one. The only ones that I have is like Kirby for like the original Game Boy, and that one is like it's very different obviously cuz
Yeah,
that one's like a
it's 2D,
it's
right?
like 2D, yeah. But I don't know. It's like I thought it was going to be an open world and I was like, why did I pre-order this? Like I don't like open world games, but it actually wasn't. So I was
Oh.
very surprised. And I don't know, the levels are just they're kind of fun and the bosses are
Does it like kind
slightly
of resemble?
difficult.
Does it kind of like resemble Mario in a sense? Then I don't know. I just like
I
does.
would say yes in a way cuz like it has the different like it has like the ice
Mm-hmm.
kind of ability or like a fire ability
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of similar. I don't know. I would say fighting the bosses, some of them at least, they're kind of similar to some of the Mario ones.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, let's rewind back for a sec. So, you said you don't like open world games. That's a take that I've almost never heard. So, I just want to.
Okay. So I've heard this, and I kind of just repeat this, but like I don't say that I agree or don't agree with it.
Hmm.
But I've heard many people say that if a company makes an open world game,
Hmm.
that they've run out of ideas.
Okay, okay. Is that why you don't like it, or
And
is it there a specific
I just
reason?
don't like how there's not a definite like
End?
way to go about playing the game.
Okay.
I'm more about like a straightforward path to like beating a game. Like I like to do the campaign and go right through it like how it's intended. I don't like when it's like you can do this or this or this or this and you can do it in this way or this way and I'm like no, like tell me what to do cuz I don't want to go off track. Like I want to play the story how it was intended.
Okay. Yeah, I feel that, I guess, but I mean, so do you like it when like I know like some open world games don't really have endings and stuff like that. Do you like it when a game has like a definite like ending?
I like when they have like cutscenes that are beneficial to the story and yeah, a definite ending.
Okay, no, I feel that. I guess like for me though, it's like open world games. Like I don't want a game to end. You know what I'm saying? Like I want like to just if it's fun, that is. Like if a game's fun, I just want to keep playing. I don't want it to be like end and then be like, hey, there's something really else you can do. And it's kind of like, and it's like with Call of Duty campaigns. If I like them and they just like end after like 4 or 5 hours, it's kind of like, oh, like with
Right, right.
like the Black Ops Cold War campaign. Honestly, I liked it. I thought it was good. And I was like, oh shoot, it ended. Like that's kind of sad. Or like, I mean, even Modern Warfare said the can I didn't really like that game. I think the campaign was all right. It kind of gave me that old Modern Warfare feeling, So there was
Mhm.
that, especially like Modern Warfare 2 campaign. I thought that was pretty good. Basically, almost all the Call of Duty campaigns have hit, except like Vanguard. I didn't think it was really that good. Or Black Ops 4 didn't have one, so it doesn't really count. They had like these
Oh,
little,
right, yeah.
yeah, they were like, I think I heard that like originally they were gonna have one, and there was like one in development, and that's why they had like those cutscenes you could unlock by like looking at like characters. But that was really all you had to do was cutscenes. So I think there was originally a campaign, but they just scrapped it so they could put their what was it called? Their battle royale in it. I forgot what it was called. Blackout. It was called Blackout.
Right, right. And like a few games before it in the franchise, they added like the co-op, which was cool. Like you could play it online with other people, I think.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I don't know. I think they just said that like no one used it, like no one used campaign, so we're just not going to put it in the game.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
people were actually kind of sad.
yeah, no, it got a lot of pushback, which is probably why they had a campaign in every single game ever since Black Ops 4. I don't know, it's like Black Ops 4 is like just such a weird game to me. It just doesn't feel like a Call of Duty game personally. I mean, I liked it honestly. I liked the multiplayer. I thought it had great like gunplay. I don't know, the weapons just felt nice and stuff like that. But the lack of the campaign just really, I don't know, it didn't make it feel like a game to me.
It yeah, it was very different. It had like health bars, I believe, too.
Yeah.
I I got it fun fact, I got it from GameStop for
Ooh.
free.
Oh.
They had like these random like scratch cards that if you spent like over like $20, they would give it to you. It was like for the holidays or something.
Okay.
And they had like things you could win on the back and I was like, okay, let's just scratch this, whatever. And it's like Black Ops 4 and at the time it was like December, so it came out like a month or two before and it was
Uh,
still going for full price, but I never ended up selling it. So it literally just sat on my shelf and then one day I was like, let's try it out and I don't know, I wasn't too impressed by it.
mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it's not. That sounds kind of interesting though. Like, do you still go to GameStop? Like,
Okay, so
yeah.
I don't know if you know, but I buy all my games physical.
Okay.
Like has to be
Respect.
physical.
I get that.
Um yeah, but I don't know, it's kind of a mixture. I go to GameStop if they have a game that I can't find for like a good price
Mm-hmm.
cuz usually I go with like eBay if I can find stuff that's like a good deal or whatever. Or then if I'm pre-ordering a game, either like GameStop or Best Buy, like whatever has the best pre-order like exclusives.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I mean, personally, I haven't like bought like a lot of games in a while, and like games like Call of Duty, I'm okay with them not being physical, honestly. But like, I get that. I do like games being physical, but I usually just go to like used video game stores, honestly. At this point, I don't know. I just feel like
Yeah, yeah.
GameStop has just got. Also, like I don't know about you, but like GameStop employees are like rude for like no reason, bro. Like I've never had a good experience with a GameStop employee. I swear, it's like
Yeah, it's so weird because like it's the same here, right? Even though I'm in Canada and everyone says they're nicer, like people here,
Mhm.
but no, like the people that work there, they just hate everyone. I went in one day like way back, like when I was in high school. I think it was in like grade 9,
Mhm.
and I went in because I was like, oh, there's the 2DS now and it's so cheap, right?
Mhm.
Because you could get it instead of the 3DS and you could play all the games.
Yeah, yeah.
I went in and I was like, do you guys have the 2DS? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, so you're not gonna tell me what ones you have? I left. I was like, no, screw this place. And I went somewhere else.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I was there, like, just trying to buy, like, this headset one time, and the employee was like, no, the headset sucks. Like, you should go somewhere, like, don't buy anything here. And I was like, I don't want to say, but, like, I was like, this dude hates his job. Like, and,
Yeah.
and then I also, like, I was trying to buy this another game there, and he was like, you're not going to like that game. And I was like, dude, like, bro, what is wrong with you? I didn't say that, but, like, because I'm not trying to be rude back, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just like they all just seem like they hate their job, and it's like,
And the people that actually want to work there, like the people that love video games, like I have a buddy that
mm,
like grinds out like stuff like Destiny, like stuff I could never
ooh,
get into. And he's always wanted to work there, and every time he's ever applied like through high school and stuff, they would
mm.
say, "No, no, we're not hiring." Like it seems like they're never hiring.
Yeah, it's like where are all these employees coming from? They're just finding these people like the like rudest and meanest people that are like just like out to get you, dude. I swear, it's like I've never,
Yeah.
and that's like I mean, it's not the main reason I stopped going to GameStop. I just like haven't had the need to go to GameStop in a while, especially with the end of Skylanders. I used to go to GameStop, you know, for Skylanders and stuff like that. But ever since like Skylanders ended, obviously, I don't need to go there anymore for it. And
Yeah,
especially because they don't have used Skylanders there. They used to have them, but now they don't. So.
and kind of used games in general, other than like the PS4 and Xbox One games. They
Mhm.
don't carry any of like the used games like they did before.
Yeah, it's like completely different. That's why I just go to. There's like these 3 used game stores that are like in my town and stuff like that. I always go there. Always, you know, get something there, and it's really cheap, you know. So it's like, hey, you know, that's like, I got all my 3DS games there. I actually just got Trap Team on the 3DS like a week or two back from that place for like $4. Like,
Yeah, and it's like a privately owned kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, it is kind of like that.
Yeah, that's like this place that I go to. It's just like one dude, he
Mm-hmm.
just owns it, and he kind of like just sources random stuff. Like it ranges from like furniture to like a bunch of video games to like
Furniture.
music. And I
Mm-hmm.
just go in and I'm like, okay, like there's no prices on anything, but this
Mm-hmm.
guy is like a genuine dude. Like I picked out like 5 or 6 games and he was like $20, and like some of them were like new games that like just came out, and I was like, okay. I was like, you are like way too nice to be having this store.
Yeah, so the one that's mine, everything has like a price, but they're always like really cheap, and you can even go in there and like, you know, sell your video games for, you know, for money and stuff
Right.
like that. And that's where like that's where all of them come from. All the games in there and stuff like that are like owned. You know, none of them are like,
Hmm.
you know, even if like you just bought it and you go to that place, like, and you'll never find anything like new there. I mean, it sounds like a bad thing saying it out loud, but like it's honestly like pretty good because you're always gonna get it for a cheaper price. They have like
Right.
Wii games there. They even have like Atari games there all the way back then. They really have everything there. You can buy like Ataris or like, you know, even they even like Wii U's there. Which I mean, I don't personally like want a Wii U, but I just think it's cool they have a Wii U because I've never like seen it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can buy like the old like, you know, Nintendo games, everything like that. Like they even have like a section for like all like the newest games for like PS4 and Xbox games, which the section isn't too big, but honestly, it's just kind of cool how much they have there. So
Damn.
yeah, I mean, and by the counters, like where you buy stuff at, that's where they have the Skylanders at, and like giant display shelves. So like, you can look in it. You know, usually they have at least one Skylander there that I need or, you know, want to get. So I always, whenever I go there, I usually always end up getting a Skylander. So it's pretty cool, honestly. And they even have like some in-box Skylanders that were given to them that someone just like never opened.
Oh wow. So when you go for like Skylanders at like your used game stores, how do they have them stored? Because the one that I go to,
Hmm.
it's literally just a giant, whatever you want to call it, like a Rubbermaid or a tote.
Hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, a giant one of those.
yeah.
They just throw them all in there, and they're all just swimming in there. It's the hardest thing to actually find stuff in it.
No, so ours completely opposite. They have them like in display cases, so you can see all of them at once and stuff like that. They're all lined up. So like if there's like multiple, like let's say there's food fights, they have all the food fights lined up, and they have them in sections too. They have like a giant section, a Spires of Adventure section, a Swapper section. It's very neat and very nice, very easy to find stuff there. And if you're looking for something and it's there, you're gonna find it. So.
Wow, that'd be nice, yeah, because I found out about my place on like Kijiji. They threw up an ad, and it had all the characters that they had, all like in order, like all standing up on like a table. Then I go in for the first time, and I'm like, where are they? Then I look down, and they're just all sitting in a bin, and I'm like, oh, I'm really gonna have to go through all this.
Yeah, no, thankfully that has not happened to me. I'm very fortunate in that because in all these stores, everything is like really nicely laid out. Honestly, like everything, they got, like I said, I think it's really cool that they actually have like their like Skylanders like in sections like based on like which games came out.
Yeah, I
really
like
cool.
that.
And but they normally don't have like any Imaginator figures. You're probably not going to find an Imaginator figure there, just because it's. Not a lot of people are giving those away because they're
Yeah, the I
expensive.
find the people that have Imaginator figures that they're selling, they know their worth.
Yeah, they know their worth, so they're probably gonna just sell it on eBay instead of like a used video game store. But I have found a good like Imaginator is the only characters I've never gotten from that store, but it's okay because I have every single Imagineers figure, thankfully. But I found like Superchargers characters there. I found Trap Team characters. The only games that I haven't bought in from that other than Imagineers is Giants and actually no, is SSA because I'd already had every single SSA figure beforehand. I got Sprocket there like a year back because I never actually got a Sprocket, but I was able to complete my Giants collection there. I even got like a Firebone hot dog there, which
Damn, yeah, that's like was that a Walmart exclusive? It was the yellow one, right?
I think it was a it was an exclusive. That's all I know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was an exclusive somewhere, and they had it there, and I was able to get it for like $10, which is a lot less than you can find it on eBay or
Right.
stuff like that. But your Skylanders will just always be cheaper there, right? And I assume that's how it is for you too. Like Skylanders are usually cheaper there, right?
Yeah, anywhere but eBay. And for Canada, I don't know about you, but shipping is insane. Like whether it's coming from outside the country, like in the States, or just within Canada, it's insane.
Mhm.
Like you're talking like maybe $20, and that's Canadian,
Whoa.
obviously, but so that would be around like $17 to ship one.
Hold up.
So you can only really do bundles.
So you said $20 Canadian. Let me see how many American dollars that is real quick.
Yeah, because think about this. I sold a VHS tape the other day.
Ooh.
I sell quite a bit of stuff. And I was like, you know what? Selling it for $18. I'm like, shipping can't be anywhere near that. And they're like, yeah, shipping is $21. And I'm like, well,
Whoa.
just lost money.
Dang, that sucks. I mean, for me, it's like the most I've ever had shipped is like $5. So
That's crazy. And it's like, it's mandatory to ship anything other than letter mail with tracking.
really,
Yes,
That
which
is
makes the
goofy.
price insane.
that is kind of goofy, honestly. I've never really
that-
heard of that.
Yeah, that's why shipping video games for me is so worth it though, because it's $1.94 to ship it with a stamp,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get your money's worth really.
All right, yeah. So I just want to send you a picture, like kind of like what the shelves look like. I actually have a picture of them, so I'm just gonna send it to you real quick. But
Alright.
I mean, yeah, for me, shipping. The only farthest I've ever shipped is like 5 states away, but that was still I think like $10. So
And that's lucky, because all the people shipping to Canada though, which is
true.
the only time that I can ship like to the States, it's bad. But I know
I bet.
that like within the States, it's like way better.
yeah,
And wow.
I guess shipping like across borders, I guess, is like obviously harder and stuff like that, but I
Yeah.
didn't think it'd be that
Wow.
much. But there, did you get the picture? I guess I'll pull it up on the screen. This was like
Mhm.
from 2020 actually. So this is like the first time I ever went there, and they have a lot more Skylanders now. But I mean, they even had supercharged characters. Shoot, they had a couple of vehicles. I actually got, I think, like 3 vehicles from there one time. I got both. They for some reason usually have like a clown cruiser and barrel blasters. They always have those there. Like,
That's crazy.
so I got those. I still unfortunately do not have a Bowser or Donkey Kong figure, but honestly, up until this point, I've never really had a reason to buy them. But now I do because I have a 3DS version of Superchargers, and maybe I do want to buy a Wii U just so I can like play Superchargers with Bowser, because Bowser's like my favorite character, like Nintendo character ever. Like if
Yeah.
I don't have Smash Bros personally, but like most of my friends do, whenever we play Smash Bros, I always play Bowser. So
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard stuff about the Wii U and I think the PlayStation Vita
hmm
that they're going up in price like crazy
yeah, I've
because
heard.
no one bought them
hmm Yeah.
because like nobody liked them really. I mean, the PlayStation Vita might be different a little bit because I know a few people that had them when I was growing up, but for the Wii U, I only knew one single person that had one.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I know 0 people that have one, so
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the only person I knew that had one had like every single Skylander, every single video game. I don't still talk to him now, but dude was buying everything.
oh, dang. Because I mean, like, there just really wasn't a use for a Wii U if you had a Wii. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just like
Exactly.
there wasn't too much. I mean, and I guess like it just felt like they were trying to like get more money. Honestly, like it's very like I don't know. It just feels like a thing Nintendo normally wouldn't do to like for at least console wise, maybe game wise, but like just like make another console just to like try to get more money off the previous console. I don't know. Just it's like Wii U is like something like Xbox would do, like an Xbox, One X. You know what I'm saying? Or like an
Yes,
stuff like that. Like the Nintendo, I don't think like ever does that. Honestly, like where they do
because
that type of
other
stuff.
than because the Xbox did what the One S
Yeah,
and then the One
the One
X, which
X.
was like the quote unquote Scorpio or whatever.
Yeah.
The One S, it was like a huge upgrade from the one. At least I think so. It looks better at
Yeah,
least.
it was, but that was just because it's been like I think like 5 years since the
Yeah,
Xbox had
but then
been
like
out.
the S between the X, it's like I feel like it's the same. Honestly, it has
It
some games
is.
that are optimized, but not a huge
Honestly,
library.
I think it's just smaller than the. Because I had it and I had an Xbox, it was way smaller. I think that's mainly the main appeal. But it's also like the thing where like is the play like where they made like different versions of the PlayStation 4 and stuff like that. I just
Mm,
Nintendo like I don't think really ever does that. Where like there's no like Wii X or the stuff like that. There's no like
yeah, except like the
Nintendo Lite.
OLED Switch.
Yeah, and I guess a Nintendo Lite, I guess, but I mean, besides that, I just didn't have done stuff like that. And the Wii just like it's just so useless, honestly. Because like, is there any games on it that like you really need that like aren't on the Wii? I just don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like the only one I can think of that's like a definite Wii U title is just like what was it? Mario Bros. U. And like is that not just like a refurb title of like the Wii?
Yeah, exactly. And it's so like it was made for like the Wii U like only, and I think like when did the Wii U come out? It was kind of like in the middle. Like, was it treated as like their new console, or was it like treated as like the
Ooh,
like what
that's
was
a
it
good
like?
question.
What was it like? Was it like because like Nintendo's like the new Nintendo console, like Wii, it's like the new Nintendo console. But was Wii U marketed as that like the next generation of Nintendo consoles, or was it just like hey we have this out, so that's kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah, because like I don't remember them hyping it up at all.
Yeah, I think it just came out like 2013, 2012. Actually, I think it came out in 2012 because I know
Yeah, 2012
Giants.
November.
Yeah, I know Giants is on the Wii U and Spyro's Adventures only on the Wii U in like Japan. So I mean, it was probably 2012. So I mean, but that's just they probably didn't market the Wii U honestly enough, and they needed to have more games on it probably, and they probably needed to treat it because like honestly like the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch seem kind of similar. So I don't know if they were just kind of like seeing if like something like that worked or something like that, but
Yeah, and they did do it better now with the Switch, but it's still not great. The graphics and like the capabilities are not all that good.
the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, on the Switch. Like if you try and play Fortnite, dude, that thing gets so hot.
Well, it seems like all Nintendo consoles are always just like a step back from like PlayStation and Xbox. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah, because
Nintendo's always doing their own thing.
I just looked it up and I'm kind of shocked. So the Wii U came out in 2012, and the PS3 came out in 2009 before it, and arguably way better than the Wii U.
So then 360 I think came out in like '08 or something like that, right? I forget.
Yeah, something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like they always release like later. Like I think the Switch came out like 2017, I want to say. Something like that.
Yeah,
Or
and
like
that was well
2016.
after the Xbox One and PS4 came out.
Yeah, March 3rd, 2016, and like when did the Xbox come out? Like 2013.
Yeah.
So and it's like arguably worse.
They're like way behind.
Yeah.
I feel like they just get by on their titles that they have that people can't play anywhere else.
Like
Like the Mario games,
Yeah.
the Kirby games, the Zelda games, stuff like that.
Those games always look alright, you know. Like I think Mario Galaxy looks good for a Wii game and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just feel like Nintendo like kind of needs to get their game up. I don't know. Maybe their sales aren't dropping, so they're just like because I feel like there are like these definite like Nintendo fans that are always just buying the new Nintendo and stuff like that. But like I don't know. Switch games seem to like go like really up in price like once you can't find them in stores like a lot anymore. And like I don't know. Is the Switch like itself going up in price? I haven't really checked that stuff out yet.
I don't know, like they're not discontinuing games yet, so that's good because they haven't released their new console yet.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's one in the making or anything like that, but I don't know if they're discontinuing games at all. I mean, maybe some of the earlier releases, but that would be kind of weird to do. But then again, the console's already 5 years old.
Well, let's see like the gap. So the game came out like 2001, right? Something like that. Yeah, it came out in 2001. When did the Wii come out? That came out in 2006. So that's just a 5-year difference. I think with like Xbox and PlayStation, it's like a 7-year difference, right?
Yeah.
But if it's just a 5-year difference let's see if that works out. When did the Wii U come out again? Like 2012. That's like a 6-year difference. So that's just like a 1-year difference. So if let's say it's like either like a 6-year difference or like a 5-year difference, the next Nintendo consoles come out like 2017, 2018, 2019, 20, 21, 22. So like either 2023 or 2024. So I mean, it's not like too terribly far away.
It's not, yeah. I don't know. It just seems weird because it's not like the Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah.
They just have a totally different kind of way about going through things. I don't know.
And they always have some sort of like gimmick, you know what I'm saying, to their consoles whenever they come out. Like the Switch had its gimmick, the Wii had its gimmick, the GameCube was GameCube's gimmick that had a terrible controller. Or...
Oh my god, that thing is uncomfortable as hell for sure. The only thing I think, or not the only thing, the Wii was honestly a great family console. I think like them making it backwards compatible with the GameCube was the best idea ever.
Why?
Because
So you
I
don't
honestly
have to use that thing. So you don't have to use the terrible controller. Is that why?
that and because I don't know, just I played more GameCube games than Wii games. I feel like I would play like the Crash Bandicoot games for the GameCube on the Wii without a save card. So I was like, why is it not saving? Like I was so dumb. Like I was like way younger, obviously, when I got the Wii, and I was like, why the heck do I get all this way in the Crash game and then, oh, it just doesn't save? And then I finally realized that I needed a save card to plug into the Wii,
Pre-auto save.
and I was like, wow, no way.
Ancient technology. It's like, you know, what would we do without, you know, auto-saving? But I mean, yeah, it's just like, the Wii is always, I mean, not the Wii, the Nintendo, like, just seems like always, like, they're just trying, like, different things. Like, they want to be different, you know? Whether it be the GameCube, where it's like, hey, we got a giant cube as your console, so, you know, that's kind of cool. And I feel like the Wii came out, like, in a time where, like, people, like, trying to say, like, video games are violent, so they purposely made, like, it a family game system, you know? I don't
Yeah,
think...
that's exactly the thing. Like I actually watched some sort of like analysis on the console the other day. Some dude was saying that when they marketed it, it was exactly that. Like people were like, video games are violent and we want to make a family console. So that's why they called it like a what do you call it? Like the controller. They didn't make it in the shape.
Like
Yeah, they
a
didn't make it
stick.
in the shape of a video game controller or like a standard one. They made it in the shape of like a remote. So they wanted it to be like, oh, like a TV remote, so you wouldn't like kind of put it together with video games.
Yeah, I guess so. And then like also like they purposely made it like a family console and stuff like that, and that it was like, hey, it's good for your health because motion control and like there's fitness games on it and stuff like that. I know. I think it came out in a really strategically placed. I don't think it's a coincidence that it came out when it did and stuff like that. And I think like it's like that. I don't know. Do you think the Wii like helped that like gaming out with it being like, hey, there's this really cool console because like everyone had a Wii. I feel like, right?
You know what? I think they did well. Like if it was like me now, I wouldn't have bought it, right?
Yeah.
But I think it helped in that time to be like to the parents of like their kids, they would be like, "Oh, you should get this because look, there's like fitness games on here and you can watch TV on here, you can do this." And I think that's what really, I don't know, sold parents on buying it cuz like I didn't know a single person honestly that didn't have a Wii. Like
Mm.
even like it is kind of different, but you know how there's like different demographics with like male and female, whatever.
Yeah.
Like even like the girls that I knew at the time, they had a Wii, and that's like you don't know. Do you know many like I don't know, like do you know everyone? Like it's hard to put, but
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
not
no.
everyone plays video games. But
Yeah.
I guess they didn't see the Wii as a
Video
video game
game.
console,
It
so like
was just,
everyone had one.
yeah, it was very just like everyone could have it. It wasn't really like marketed to any like one specific demographic. It was just like you can have fun with it and it's for the family and stuff like that. So I feel like everyone had it, and like especially like parents that had like younger kids and stuff like that got Wii's. I was a younger kid when the Wii came out, so I mean. I don't know. I had a Wii. All my friends had Wii's. It seemed like everyone had a Wii, and like even like people that already had Xboxes and stuff like that had a Wii.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it was kind of a given. Like everyone had a Wii.
It's like even like PlayStation, fans, like Xbox fans had a Wii. It's like everyone had like nowadays, like I don't know, like a lot of people with Xboxes don't really have like I know like all my friends that have Xboxes and like PlayStations don't really have a Switch or like any other game console. They just
Yes.
rock with their game console. It's like no, everyone had a Wii. Everyone just like needed a Wii for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
Was it
the
cheaper?
games
Like,
were. Yeah, that's a good question actually. And also, to your thing before, the Wii had three different models, but it wasn't made to get more money. They were kind of just updated versions.
oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, no, the Wii was 250 USD when it came out. So I mean, like, I guess that's like, I mean, how much like Xbox is nowadays like 600. So like, how much was the Xbox when it came out? Hold on, how much was?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm looking that up right now. How much was the Xbox 360 when it first came out? It was 400. So it was a bit cheaper than like most other consoles. So maybe that was part of the reason why more people got it, or maybe just because like since I guess it kind of also appealed to parents as well, right? So I mean like just the demographic, it just seems like was huge. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like I've said this before. Like I feel like the Wii is like one of the best like I don't know, inventions to come out ever. I don't know. I don't really know what you call it. Like I'm not trying to call it a console right now. It was like one of the best ideas maybe for like a gaming console to
Best
come out.
selling home entertainment device.
Yeah. Besides like I don't know the DS I think is the best selling like game like not console but like device ever. But I bet like the Wii, if you don't count like non-handheld devices, is like right behind it, right?
Yeah, I feel like there was kind of like a divide when like the DS was. Well, I mean, I know there was like the earlier releases, but like kind of like the DSi era when they made that, and then also like the PS Vita was out. It was kind of between, oh, do you want games that can have like shooters in it, or do you want one that's like kind of family friendly, like Mario stuff like that? Because I know like my cousin, he was like totally against the DS. He's like, oh, it's for like kids, like when we were growing up, and I had the DS, he had the Vita, and he would have like Star Wars games and like kind of like more mature games. I feel like that's kind of the way it was marketed.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, cause like what, like, I bet there wasn't any like I know like, is there like shooter games on the Switch now? But like, I think there is. But like
Now, yes.
I don't like even though like Black Ops was on the Wii, like no one was buying Black Ops for the Wii. It's like or like
Oh, definitely not.
or like I don't know, the 3DS have like any really like mature games? I felt like it just feels like Nintendo has always been more of like a more kid friendly like video game
Yeah.
console, right?
So, yeah, they they had some games, like they had Modern Warfare for the original DS, but it was god awful. You had to use your stylus to shoot and aim.
Oh man.
It's horrendous. Like I've played it before.
Hmm.
I would not buy a DS in order to play games like that. But I think I lost my train of thought. So go ahead.
No, I don't know. I was going to like it's always just been like more just kid friendly. Like I mean Mario's on it, like like games like Mario, Kirby, everything like that. Like it just feels like really out of character that like the Switch has like Doom on it. I don't know, just that doesn't make sense.
Right.
That like. And I mean, it probably can't handle it anyways. It probably gets like super hot when you like play it. Like you probably can't
For
even
sure.
touch your controller, honestly. That's like one of the reasons like why I don't understand like why Nintendo consoles do so well. Is because like they're not like the graphics are not as good as like consoles now. They come out later too, and the consoles that come out before them still have better graphics. The next
Yeah, they
Nintendo.
kind of
There you go.
they missed the point where it's like competition between the other consoles. Like
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
They're like a year behind or two.
Like, do you think like is there a competition between them? It's like Xbox and PlayStation is very competition, but like is Nintendo really part of that? Like, I don't see it as that.
I would say no, because I feel like if you think about it, like the Switch,
Mhm.
it doesn't have any like party chat or anything like that. So I feel like people aren't buying it to play with their friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or like if you do, it's more like a party, like more like a party game where like you play it at a party. Like when there's multiple people
Right,
there.
right.
Like the Wii's like a very party game. Like you'd play it at a party. Like Xbox.
Like if you're
you don't
playing it
do
with
that.
people, it's gonna be like couch co-op, like
Yeah.
on the TV or whatever.
Yeah, like Xbox, you don't invite friends over to play Xbox. You play a game with them on Xbox. The same thing with PlayStation. You don't invite your friends to play a PlayStation game with you. You just play with them. Like, if you want to like have a party, you have like a Wii or like a Switch where you play like the party games. Because like party games is very like Nintendo thing. You know what I'm saying?
It is like the whole Mario Party.
Hmm. Or just like Wii Party. That was one of my favorite.
Right.
Games. Wii
There
Party.
was a lot of games like that. There was a lot of actual party game collections.
Mm-hmm. Like Wii Party. That's one of my favorite games ever. Like I don't know. I love Wii Party. Or like Wii Resort was kind of like that. I guess you could. Play
Right,
with
and then they
friends.
made the sports resort with those little extra chunks on the bottom of the controllers.
Yeah. That was kind of weird, honestly. I didn't really like that much.
I never ended up getting it. And like you had, I think every time you went to play, you had to like what's it called? You had to set your controller down to recalibrate it.
Mm-hmm. Oh really?
Yeah.
That does not sound that fun. But yeah, just like party, like if you want to like invite your friends over, you don't invite them to play Xbox or PlayStation. You always invite them to play like a Wii game I mean, is Switch like that? I don't really keep up with Switch games, but I assume they have party games.
Yeah, they have just nothing like that though, which is weird. Like they don't have like I don't remember the names exactly, but they had like games on the Wii for like I don't know, darts or like bowling and like tennis and then like I don't know, like paragliding and like the Switch I don't know of any games like that.
'Cause I know,
They don't
like-
have any collections really.
Well, I know like you can like disconnect the two ends of it, and that counts as like a one controller if you're playing against someone, right? Or like
Yes. And it's awful.
It's
I would not
awful.
recommend playing it like that.
It's terrible.
It's the tiniest thing. And even with there's a little slider you put on to make the bumpers easier to press.
Mhm.
Even with that, like it's weird. And especially because one of the controllers you're gonna have the thumbstick way closer to the buttons,
Ugh.
and the other one you're gonna have the thumbstick normal with the part from the buttons.
Yeah.
Just because of how the Switch is made.
Mm-hmm. That is kind of weird, and like that's another thing. Like Nintendo's always had like add-ons, especially for the Wii. Especially for the Wii, they always have like add-ons where like you can turn the Wii controller into a steering wheel, or like you can
Or the zapper.
or the zapper. It's like I don't know, like they like there was like games that specifically needed like the add-ons. Like I know Mario Kart. I played it with the 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 Wii controller, or like the zapper where like it's like a gun, it's like a gun.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't like feel like a very Nintendo thing to do, but like maybe that's better for like a Call of Duty game. But like who wants to play Call of Duty with a zapper? But I mean, I mean,
Right. It was very difficult.
I bet so. Like, let me look at other Wii add-ons. But I mean, they always have like there was a lot of games that came with accessories. Whether it be the zapper or there was even like I think what was it like there was like a Wii golfing stick. I had that. A Wii
Yeah,
tennis
yeah.
racket.
And a Wii hockey stick?
Oh yeah, that and a Wii like tennis racket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think they even had like for like the jousting one, they had like a Wii jousting stick. It's like
It was
so
so
weird.
funny though, because they weren't necessary to play any of those games,
Yeah, but
but
like
people bought them.
I mean, I could play Mario Kart easily without like the steering wheel, but it just felt unnatural.
Yeah, it did.
I really like the steering wheel, and I mean they had like they had the gun, which is like I don't know, this feels really weird. I mean, is the nunchuck like an add-on, or like did the nunchucks come or
I
like
think one came with every controller that you bought, but then when you went to go to the store to buy another, I think they were separate.
because like did the Wii itself come with one of the nunchucks where like this thing you'd stick into the bottom of the Wii and you had like
Yeah,
the
I
moving thing?
believe they did for every controller you got. I don't remember how many came with it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say two.
It's kind of like weird because I know there's also like that thing you can add to the bottom of the controller where it's like a block. You know what I'm saying? And then like you can just
Yeah,
put
yeah.
like a case around it, which is like really weird. Like why do you need to put a block at the end of the Wii controller?
Yeah, it's like what was it missing that couldn't do everything else that it needed
Or
to?
like like the Wii remote charger is. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
those were like I don't know. I I felt like my Wii was never charged. I don't know. I didn't even have batteries. So I always had the Wii chargers. I
I don't know.
never
I,
used batteries.
I feel like the batteries drained so fast too.
Yeah. Maybe because like you have to move the controller, and then maybe that makes the batteries. Because I know like remotes, like actual like just like TV remotes, it feels like the battery like never dies on that. Whereas
Oh, I
like
know.
console batteries, it'll take like maybe 10 hours, 5 hours, like of your time, and it's dead. Like why do remotes like never like they never like die? The battery remotes never die. I can have them for, like shoot maybe even like months. Honestly, like I've never had to like replace like a remote battery.
Yeah, I don't know if they have like a standby mode on that makes them not drain because I don't know, the Xbox or PlayStation, whatever you're using,
Mm-hmm.
they have to be on when you're using them.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Maybe it's
And
like
they vibrate if you choose to have that option on.
sure. Maybe like as long as you're not pressing a button that doesn't like drain its battery. But like I don't know. It just feels like very like I don't know. I'd have to ask a remote control person. Because I mean like the batteries, those things never freaking die, and it's like the exact opposite for Wii's. The batteries always. That was one of my like biggest complaints with like the Wii's. Like, dude, change your battery. I'm always
Yeah,
like
I know.
I'm always like having to like when I'm at friends are over and I was playing the Wii, I always had to go to the refrigerator because that's where my parents put the batteries. Because apparently, put in the refrigerator, it makes the batteries life last longer. I don't know if that's true or not, but I always had to go over there. This is before like we bought like rechargeable batteries and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
We have rechargeable batteries now. Like only battery you'll ever see me repping is the rechargeable batteries. Cause
Same with me.
I'm not buying like $19 Duracell batteries that like freaking die in like a day or two, stuff like that. So I mean, I always have rechargeable batteries. But this is before like I'd have to like go to HEB with my mom to get like a bunch of batteries for my Wii remote controllers. I feel bad for honestly. I feel bad now because like I was always buying because like I was playing the Wii like every single day after school. Get on the Wii, either whether it be like playing Skylanders because that's what I originally had a Wii for, was playing Skylanders.
Me too.
I mean that was the first console I actually ever had. It was a Wii. Like before Xbox. I mean, and the reason why I actually got an Xbox was because I knew that Superchargers wasn't going to come out on the Xbox. So I got an Xbox for Christmas that year, as well as the fact that like Trap Team looked horrible on the Wii.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, I don't think I knew that Swap Force wasn't coming out for Wii. I just think that I thought that the Swap Force would look terrible on the Wii. So I got for Christmas 2014, I got a Xbox One. So yeah, I don't even think I knew that Superchargers was coming out not on the Xbox, but just like as a racing one on the Wii. And I just kind of got saved by the fact that I got an Xbox at that time.
Yeah, see, I don't know what happened with me because I had the Wii, I had Spyro's Adventure, I had Giants, and then something happened, and I just had no idea that Swap Force came out. Had no idea that Superchargers came out or Imaginators, but I did know about Trap Team for some odd reason, and I bought that way later when I had an Xbox One. I went from the Wii
Mhm.
all the way to the Xbox One. It was the weirdest transition.
That's weird. So like, you didn't know about Swap Force, you said, right? Which is like the best-selling Scoundrels game ever.
Yeah, which is it's so weird.
But you know about
Like
Trap Team, and you
I
got
played
that.
through the first two games
Mhm.
and I loved them. And I guess something happened and I had no idea that the next one came out because I'm pretty sure I was still buying like the old figures or something
Mhm.
like when the new game came out
Huh. So wait,
and I was still playing the
did
games.
you get Surprise Adventure Giants like when they came out, like 2011,
Yeah, I
2000?
got them literally on release
Same.
both times.
Okay, well I got it for Christmas on both. Actually, no. So, I mean, I don't like. I got Swap Force. I mean, sorry, Surprise Adventure for Christmas. But then I don't know why they did this. My parents literally showed me them buying the Skylanders in front of my face, and they said you gotta wait for Christmas, by the way, until you get this. And I was like, dude,
I feel like we all lived the same childhood.
why did that happen to you? Was it like my parents would literally buy like all these Giants figures and like, hey, you gotta wait to Christmas, by the way. Like, don't show me that, please. Like,
Yeah, like they would have them at Costco, I remember, like
Mhm.
at least the adventure
like
packs or whatever.
Costco, really?
Yeah,
They don't got them at Costco for
around me,
me.
they used to have Skylanders at Costco, and I would go with my parents, and then they'd be like, "Oh, you want this?" And I'd be like, "Yeah," and then they'd be like, "Okay, you gotta wait until your birthday, Christmas." I'm like,
Did they actually
"Damn."
buy them in front of you? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like my mom got it, put it like all these kind of like Bouncer, Crusher, all these dudes, and into like the basket, bought them all, and he was like, "Oh, you gotta wait for Christmas, by the way," which was like 2 months. Like I think October. I mean, it was around October because like the game just came out. I was like, "You're torturing me right now. Like this is insane." And then
Yeah, that
Swap Force is when I started buying them by myself and not with my parents' help, and also started buying them on release. After Swap Force, I bought every single game on release.
damn. Like I don't know how I didn't know about it, because
Really?
I didn't. Like I feel like everyone stopped playing it because
Hmm.
like at my school there was like a group of people that I kind of got into like the original games.
Hmm.
Uh, I think it was just because my birthday was around the same time of SSA, and
Okay.
that's when I got the thing. And yeah, I don't know. I just kind of everyone saw that I got SSA, whatever,
Hmm.
and then they're like, "Oh, well, I want it too." And then we would all just literally like trade Skylanders just to level
Really?
them up and then trade them back. Yeah, it was kind of
I
cool.
would never trust anyone with my Skylanders. That would never happen. I would never trade my Skylanders
Yeah,
personally.
it was like three or four of us in like elementary school, and we would just like bring them to school,
Hmm.
and then we'll do a little switch, and then bring them home, level them up for each other, and then bring them back. It was so cool.
Lucky. I mean, cause like I mean, honestly, like a lot of my friends didn't really have Skylanders, especially like the ones that did have Skylanders didn't buy any of them after Swap Force or stuff like that. I mean, that's like for me at least. There was always like this cycle, you know. I'd play Skylanders, you know, I'd do all that, and then like around like July or like you know after I kind of then play Skylanders for a while, I would always just like look up Skylanders, and then I would see a new Skylanders game. I'm like, hey, you know, that's always happened. Like one night for Swap Force when I looked up, I was like playing like some game on an iPad because I had an iPad when I was like I didn't really play it actually that much the iPad, but for some reason I was just on the iPad this time, and
Mm.
I was playing like this game that doesn't exist anymore, but I wish it did. It was like, do you know what the Croods is? The movie.
Yes,
There was like
yes.
this Clash of Clan based cruise game that they deleted from the App Store, and I'm pissed about it. I want
Oh my
that
god, I
game
played
back.
that before.
I want that game back. I liked it a lot. I would play that game still if they had it. It was like a, yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. It was like
Yeah.
Clash of Clans cruise game. I was playing that, and I just randomly like decided to look up Skylanders like on Safari or like on Chrome. And it was like Swap was coming out. I was like, Mom, Dad, guess what? And then we went to the store like a couple months, and I actually pre-ordered all the Skylanders games so I could get like an extra figure. For Matchers, I know I got Chaos because I pre-ordered the game for free. Superchargers, I don't actually think I got anything, even though I pre-ordered the game. I don't remember getting anything
Wait a second, you got Chaos and Imaginators, you said?
for free
What?
because I pre-ordered the game. That was really what the dude was like. Hey, by the way, did you pre-order the game? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, prove it. I showed him like the pre-order thing. It was like, okay, here you go. And it was like a chaos figure. It was like, that's free, by the way. And I was like, okay.
Damn, I didn't know that. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember getting anything for. I mean, I probably did get something. I just don't remember it for Trap Team. I don't remember getting anything. Actually, no. I got a Nitro Crypt King for pre-ordering the game. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah. It was like, pick up your free Nitro Crypt King. All you gotta do is prove that you pre-order the game. I got that. And then for Swap Force, it was Lightcore Hex, which was a Giants figure, but I got that free since I pre-ordered the game. So.
Have you pre-ordered anything at all recently?
I pre-ordered Call of Duty Vanguard so I could get a couple things in Call of Duty Cold War, but that was it. That's the last thing I pre-ordered. Why?
I find that games that I pre-order through GameStop, whatever they say they're gonna give you with it, you never get it.
Wow. See, this is why GameStop sucks. Again, like GameStop boys, bro. Get your head in the game.
Yeah, get your stuff together. There was like I bought like NHL like a few years ago, and they were like, comes with these free socks, comes with this, and I go there and they're like,
that's a weird offer, free socks. Okay.
I know, but I was like, yo, free socks? Why not? And then I went in and I got the game. Then I go to the car and I'm like, wait, where's my damn socks? And I went back in and they were like, yeah, we don't have them anymore. I was like, but I pre-ordered it.
Yeah, like it's like a guarantee. It's like, really? Oh, that's gotta suck.
Yeah, god damn, I never got my socks.
So you're like an NHL fan then? Like an actual... Like...
Okay, so I was hoping you would come this way because for sports games, I hate the fact that it comes out every year. They're the same thing, and they're a waste of money. And I play, like, Ultimate Team and, like, NHL. I tried to get into the show, baseball, but I'm having a hard time. That game is just very difficult for me. I don't know if that's everyone, but... And, yeah, I mean, I did play basketball a few times, but
like
wasn't that big of a fan. Yeah, 2K.
Never.
I have not. I mean, I kind of just recently got into football somewhat just because I was like, you know what? Why not? I'm forced to watch it at work every Sunday, so might as well
it's kind of weird,
get into that.
Like, like wherever you work at in Canada, they just have like these football games playing in the background.
Yeah, so it's somewhat of a bar, but it's like a family bar. So it's like more of a restaurant with a bar, but they have TVs everywhere. Like literally everywhere, but on Sundays, they have it all on football channels, and that's it.
Isn't there like a CFL league though? Isn't it like a Canadian football league in Canada, right?
Yeah, but for some reason we just don't put that on.
Dude, I even have like a favorite team in the CFL. It's the Rough Riders. I don't know why, I just like their name, so I chose them as my favorite team. But I mean, yeah, the Saskatchewan, or however you say it, I don't know. Yeah, they're my favorite team because I thought their name's cool. But I mean, yeah, so they don't. I mean, I think the CFL like is at a different time than the NFL. Like, I think it's actually like it takes place during like one full year. Like the NFL obviously is like, you know, late like in the year that it takes. Then like the end of it's like in early the next year. I think the CFL is all 1 year, but they always like whenever the NFL's on, they have like the NFL games every Sunday.
Yeah.
Is there like a lot of football fans in Canada? In America, there is. Like, everyone's a football fan, but, like, I don't know, in Canada...
I don't know, actually. I feel like it's more of, like, hockey fans. Like, if you go up to... Basically, I want to say more than 50% of people, for sure. If you go up to someone, they'll have, like, a favorite hockey team. Maybe basketball, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people here that want nothing to do with football, and that's kind of how I was, honestly.
Dang.
Kind of like oblivious to anything that was going on revolving around that sport.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's definitely a lot lower, I feel like, of people that actually watch it. Like there's a lot of people that will say that they only watch football when the Super Bowl is on, and then they just once a year kind of thing.
Oh, really? Dang.
Yeah.
I mean, I know like people say they watch Super Bowl for the ads. I don't get that personally, but I mean, I mean, I have a favorite team and everything like that. Like, you know, I normally only will watch like my favorite team's football games. I mean, I usually watch playoff games, but that's just because they're playoff games.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, is there like a like is your work like during the Super Bowl? Like, would they like show the Super Bowl like when you're working or something like that?
Yep.
Was it, like, a
Basically
packed house?
anything, but yeah, the Super Bowl is very like it gets busy at any kind of event in sports. Like
Mhm.
when the I don't know, we had like the qualifiers for the soccer
Yeah.
thing. I guess Canada was doing really well, and they had that on, and people were going crazy for that. And then we had like I remember for sure when the Raptors won
Yeah, that was
in
probably.
basketball. That was crazy.
I mean, that was not even too long ago. Right? That was like 2019, I think.
Yeah,
Uh,
just a few years ago. Yeah, that was insane everywhere, honestly, because it was kind of close by to me. And because they're like the only Canadian basketball team.
yeah, sure. What about like the Blue Jays? Is there like a lot of like Blue Jays fans in there?
I feel like now it's kind of like I don't know if you know anything about hockey, but the Leafs are
Hmm.
kind of a meme in hockey, but they're like doing better, and I feel
Hmm.
like that's how the Blue Jays are now. Like they were kind of bad, I want to say,
Hmm.
like not they were kind of
Were
average,
they like
but
were they
now
hated
they're
on
they're
or
kind
like
of doing okay.
were they like hated on? Like
Okay, so the Blue Jays not I wouldn't say that they're hated on as much as the Leafs are. Like they're a meme. They are
the
the
Maple
biggest
Leaves?
meme of hockey. Like they get bullied if you're like a Leafs fan and you go anywhere other than like
Well,
Toronto.
isn't there like a Leafs player on NHL 2022 though? Like I'm pretty sure like he isn't he on the cover? I forgot what his name is.
Oh, right. Yeah, Matthews.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's literally on the cover, but
They're
I
still
don't
just
know.
a giant meme.
Yeah, just because of their inability to win any games once the playoffs start.
Oh, so will they like? Do they usually do good in the regular season? Then just like.
Regular season, they absolutely go off,
Hmm.
and then playoffs start, and then they get either swept or
Oh,
they win like
really?
one game and then
They're
lose.
like the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL, which sucks because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. But I mean, I mean, to be honest with you, like that's how it's felt like. Honestly, even this year, like I mean, as a Dallas Cowboys fan, it sucks. But like, it seems like we always do good in the regular season. If we do good in the regular season, and then we always just choke in the playoffs. Like, I mean, to agree, some of it wasn't our fault. I mean, like I'm just saying, in 2014, there was like a very controversial ref call that like could have changed the game that didn't go our way. No. If you guys know what I'm talking about, his name was Des Bryant. He caught the ball. He didn't drop the ball. The ref said he dropped the ball. He caught the ball, and everyone agrees on it now. And we would have went to the NFC Championship that year, and maybe to the Super Bowl, but no. And then like other times we just got unlucky. Like like do you know about like the undefeated Patriots how they got beat by the Giants in the Super Bowl?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, well, on the Giants' way there, they beat us in the playoffs, so that was fun. And I mean, we just in like this year we were doing good. We were like 12-5, and then we were the third. Like seeding. That's kind of dumb asking that, but you know how seeding works, right, for playoffs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like dumb for asking that, but like we were the third seed, and the 49ers like the sixth seed, and we lost. To be fair, the 49ers beat the best team in the league, the Green Bay Packers. So I mean, it kind of softens the blow, but it still doesn't like feel good that we lost in the first round of the playoffs after like doing good for the first time in like years.
Yeah.
And then like even in 2016, the 2016 season, the Dallas Cowboys were the one seed and everything like that. We went like 13-3, and we lost in the divisional round because we got is there like first round buys in like in the NHL? Like, will the number one seed get?
Um
Nah,
no, because they made a thing in order well, not that it even makes it any different, but there's like an even amount of teams.
mhm.
But no, it's the same amount of teams. So I don't remember the exact amount, but it's an even number. So they don't do
Well,
any
even
buys.
before that, when there wasn't an even number of teams, they just gave the top two seeds like a first round bye. So like during like the wild card, is it the wild card in like every single? Is it called that? I think in the NBA
I
they
think
call it the
so.
wild card in the NHL. So like let's say like in the NHL like when there used to just be 6 teams per conference, and there's like a conference right because like for the NFL it's AFC and NFC. You know that right? Is there like
Yeah.
is it what's it like is it like that in The
Yeah, I don't remember the exact. I know there was 3 before, but now I think there's 2. I think it's just East and West, honestly.
Oh, okay. So yeah, for like in the NFL, it's AFC and NFC. There used to just be 6 per side. So it's like there's 6 teams that they made to the playoffs in the NFC, and the first 2, the top 2 teams, would not have to play in wild card weekend and then get a skip that week and go straight to the divisional round. Now that there's 7 teams, it's just the number 1 seed that only gets the first round bye. But in 2016, there were still 2. It was the Falcons and the Cowboys who had a first round bye, and we had the first round bye and stuff like that. And we had to play Green Bay, and Green Bay beat us by a field goal. So I mean, that was nice.
Damn,
Yeah.
that stings.
Yeah, and it was like it was honestly like it sucked watching that because like it was gonna go into overtime, and then like there's like one of the most like lucky catches that have ever happened in the playoffs, and of course it happens to the Dallas Cowboys, and they kicked the field goal and they won, so that was fun. And I honestly feel like we could have won the Super Bowl that year if we didn't lose that game, because that means we would have gone to the NFC Championship against the Falcons, and I think we win that. And because I mean, there's like a lot of evidence pointing to why I think we would have won that. And all the Dallas Cowboys had to do was beat the Patriots that year. And I don't know if we beat the Patriots, but I know we make it to the Super Bowl at least, so there's that. But
yeah, and that's why they're the 5-time Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, 5-time. And hey, just letting you know, like that's how good we are. We haven't won a Super Bowl in 20 years, and no team has ever even tied the 5 record yet. There's teams that like have gone above it. The only 2 teams, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Patriots, have 6 Super Bowl wins, but no other team has tied the 5 one besides the 49ers. So I mean,
yeah, it's actually crazy.
That's just how good we are. And there's been like, and it just kind of sucks because like there's like a number of years I can think of where like the Dallas Cowboys, it just feels like, I don't know, it just feels like, especially this year, like all of our games that we lost were like big important games. Like we lost the first game against the Buccaneers. Then I mean, upsets always happen. The Broncos upset the Cowboys. The third game we lost, it was an important game. It was a Thanksgiving game. We lost to the Raiders. The next game that we lost was a very important game. It was like it ended up not really being important, but at the time it was very important. It was, what was it? What did we lose? Oh yeah, it was against the Cardinals. And we lost that. It was like very important because like it could determine who becomes the number 1 seed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then we lost the 49ers in the playoffs, which is obviously a very important game because it's a playoff game. Hold on, I think we lost to one more team. We lost to the Chiefs. That was before the Cardinals, and we lost. That was a very important game because it was like, are the Dallas Cowboys actually that good? Because they're going up against one of the best teams in football. We lost that game, but we didn't have our best receiver in the game, so it doesn't actually count. That doesn't count as a loss. So obviously. And like, didn't you say you're a fan of like LA teams or something like that? Because I know you're.
Yeah. So, although I've never been to Anaheim, I kinda just fell into like the Angels, Ducks, and Chargers.
Well, they're an LA team now. When did they move? I don't know when they moved, but.
I think it was. If we're talking about the Ducks, yeah, they're like. Well, no, they're the Anaheim, but.
No, the Angels moved to.
Yeah, the Angels. The Angels.
When did they move to LA? Hold on, let me see. They moved to LA in 1966.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's still kind of. I feel like.
Oh wait, no. This makes more sense. So they moved to LA in 1966, but they were still called the Anaheim Angels. In 2005, they became.
Okay, that does make more sense. But like, I feel like most Ducks fans, because that's kind of what I'm primarily. They're all Angels fans, and then it's either they choose between the Rams or the Chargers.
And what did you choose? Didn't you choose the Chargers, right?
Yes, I did.
Was that because you don't want to be called a bandwagon or what?
I guess that was partially the reason, but also I kind of let my Twitter decide.
Oh, okay. Wait, when was this?
This was like last year.
Oh, okay. And then it shows the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers they're making moves right now, so who knows? They might do good. I mean, I know that
they are.
The Rams did win this Super Bowl, but it doesn't even count. So I mean, no. So like if you guys don't know, basically what the Rams did is that they traded their future away for this one Super Bowl win. They got rid of like basically all their draft picks. they bought a bunch of dudes that they can only keep for a year because like cap space and stuff like that. Like they bought like OBJ, they bought like Matthew Stafford, they bought all these dudes that they could probably only keep for a year, and they had to get rid of a lot of them. But for some reason, because the NFL doesn't know how to work their cap space, the Rams are actually going to keep most of their dudes. But I assume next year is when it's all going to fall apart for them. And yeah, they basically traded their future away for these 2 years where they win the Super Bowl this year. I don't think they're going to win it this year, but the Chargers they might do pretty good actually. You know, people got to watch out for the Chargers. So good pick, I guess. You know, good pick.
Yeah.
And the Angels I think are doing
way
decent.
Better than last season.
Yeah,
like way better.
I don't know how the Ducks are doing. I don't keep up with them.
Ducks are out of the postseason. They have a very young team and very skilled, but their coach doesn't know how to make lines.
Wait, has the Cowboy? Have the playoffs started yet?
The playoffs start on Monday.
Oh,
maybe.
But they're just out of contention for the playoffs.
Yeah, they are way out of contention.
I don't know. I guess I'm a fan of the Dallas Stars just because they're a Texas team. That's really it, honestly. I don't know if they're in the playoffs or not, but I mean.
I think they are.
Yes, sir. I just looked it up. They are. The Avalanche won the division, but we are the something seed. I don't know. It was the Avalanche. I don't even know who these teams are. All I know is the Dallas Stars. So in their division, Avalanche won it. Then it was the Wild, then the Blues, and then the Stars, then the Predators. What an awful name for a team. The Predators.
I never thought about it like that.
What a terrible name for a team. It reminds me of something else.
And it's got to be Nashville too.
It's Nashville. Wow. And then the Pacific Division, it's the Flames. I don't know if you know these teams. I don't. The Oilers. That used to be an NFL team. The Kings. They're in the playoffs. Okay. The Panthers. The Maple Leafs are in the playoffs. Oh my God.
Yes, they are. By like a lot, I think.
Yeah, the 54-21 record. Let's see if they choke. The Tampa Bay Lightnings. I don't know why I know that team. I just know they exist. And then the Bruins.
Because they've won the last 2 years because they were over the cap space. I don't know. You said there's an issue with cap space in the NFL?
Yeah, well, it just seems like teams that like buy a bunch of dudes never actually have to give up any of their guys, even though they're like terribly over the cap space.
Okay, so I'm going to try to explain this to you to the best of my ability.
Okay.
So, once the playoffs start, if you're over the cap space, so basically what you can do to avoid the cap space, which is not legal in any way, but it happens, people go on the LTIR, just like the injury reserve, and then they don't affect the cap space. So if you have like a guy making like 10 million and you are over the cap space, you can throw him on the injury list.
But that didn't happen with the Rams. They didn't do that. So it's like, I don't know what they did.
But then during the playoffs, so as soon as they start, the cap space does not matter anymore. So you can throw everyone back into your lineup. It's insane.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying like after the season's over now, they have to give up all their dudes, it seems like. But they've only given up, I think, like one of their big stars, and that's it. And they even signed another big star named Bobby Wagner. So I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know. But I mean, shoot.
That's crazy.
What a terrible name for a team. The Predators thing. I don't know. Are the Red Wings ever good? They're the Detroit team. All I know is that Detroit sucks. So,
yeah, the Lions. Oh my gosh, this year.
Hey,
they were painful.
They're making moves. They're making moves in the draft right
Did they only win one game?
Oh no! Okay,
season?
So for the first 10, it was really weird. Like the Lions are such a weird team. So for the first 10 games, they didn't win a single one. And then when they played the Pittsburgh Steelers, they tied. They couldn't win that game, even though multiple times they could have won that game in overtime. Just no team seemed to win. And then after that, a couple of weeks later, they finally won a game. It was against the Minnesota Vikings, which is kind of ironic because they play in their division. It was a walk-off touchdown, which you know what that means, right?
Yeah.
So it was a walk-off touchdown. And then like 2 games later, they beat the best team in the league at that time, which was the Arizona Cardinals. They had the best win record, and they beat them. And it was a blowout, too. It was like 30-12, like 32-12. And it was really weird. And then they won their last game against the Packers, but the Packers had all their like guys out. They because they didn't want to injure any of their guys before the playoffs.
Oh,
so
yeah.
They just had all their subs in, and the Lions almost lost that game still.
That's funny.
Yeah, so but like, dude, the Lions right now, they're making some moves in the draft. They made some moves in free agency. Honestly, I think they have like a good future. They like last draft, last year they had like Amon St. Brown. He's a really good receiver. T.J. Hawkinson's a good receiver. A tight end. He's been with them for a while. They're making some moves, and they just got, in my opinion, they just got the best player in the draft. His name is Aiden Hutchinson, and they just got him at the second pick instead of the first pick, which I think is a steal. The Jaguars messed up terribly there with drafting like Trayvon Walker, who he's a good college player, but he's not as good as Aiden Hutchinson. So they just got the best player in the draft for a second pick, which is a steal. They were able to trade up, and do you know that Alabama college is really good, right? Like all the kids they always win the national championship. Do you know about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so they got one of the Alabama receivers at the 12th pick. They got, his name is Jameson Williams. They got him at the 12th pick. They drafted some other dudes, so they're doing pretty good. They made some moves in free agency, and I assume that's just a free agency is a thing in every single sport, like in hockey. So they made some moves. Honestly, I think the Detroit Lions could at least have a winning record next year, at least. I don't think they're gonna make it to the playoffs, but they could at least have a 9. They could, because I know in every other sport there's a bunch of games. In the NFL it's 17 games or whatever. I think they could go 9-8. So I mean, there's
I feel like in every other sport, I feel like NFL is the only one where you have to have a really good, I guess a really good winning record to qualify for the postseason. But everything else, it could be lower. You could be 500 and.
Yeah, I know in the NBA there's even teams that are below 500 that made the playoffs. Only really rare instances that happen. It happened last year when the division, the NFC East, had no teams that were above 500, so just the best team out of them, which was the Washington football team at the time, is what they're called, the Washington football team. They were 7-8, or they were 7-8, and they made the playoffs just because they were the best of the worst teams. And they actually almost beat the Buccaneers, who won the Super Bowl that year. They were actually, it was funny. They were the team that had the least that lost by the least points to the Buccaneers. Was the Washington football team. It was
Damn.
really funny. And they're the Commanders now, though. But I mean, it's that only happens in really rare instances. Most of the time, teams that make it to the playoffs have a 90 or 80% win rate. Very rarely do teams ever even close to 500 make the playoffs. It's very rare, but maybe that's just because there's less games. That's probably why, though. Just because there's less.
Yeah,
games.
Maybe.
Or in football, it seems I know in the NBA, one dude can sometimes carry a team. In the NFL, that never happens. Matthew Stafford, I don't know if you know who he is, but he's the Rams quarterback. He played in Detroit for years, and I think he should be a Hall of Famer. And he only made the playoffs 3 times in Detroit, which is honestly insane that he even made the playoffs 3 times. I mean, he lost all of them, but honestly, it's shocking to me that he even made the playoffs 3 times. So very rarely, and he's a Hall of Famer in my opinion, and he couldn't even get their team to win a playoff game. So
damn.
I mean, I know in the MLB and I think the NHL and in the NBA, it's all series, right? Each playoff is a series, right?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I get it, but, for football, that could never happen, just because of,
It just takes a lot more out of you, right?
Yeah, and, having to do that, every, 1 or 2 days, just they couldn't do that. I mean, I kind of like it, though, because, it's easier for underdogs to make it to the Super Bowl. The Eagles that won the Super Bowl, or the Cardinals that almost won the Super Bowl, the Bengals even this year, which they should have won the Super Bowl, but they just, kind of flopped, honestly. It was upsetting watching that. The Bengals had so many chances to win that Super Bowl, but it was I don't know. Did you watch that one? Did you watch Super Bowl 56?
I did.
Was that what was the general consensus on who they wanted to win? Was there a general
I don't know. I feel like most people were going for the Rams.
Really? Because in America, it seemed like everyone wanted the Bengals to win, besides a couple people in St. Louis and a couple people in California. It's how it usually is with the Patriots. Whenever the Patriots won the Super Bowl, everyone was always just bandwagoning on the other team because they just didn't want the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. Happened with the Rams, happened with the Eagles. It actually didn't happen, for me at least. Everyone in Dallas actually kind of wanted the Patriots to win since the Eagles play in the Cowboys division. That was a very Super Bowl that I felt conflicted about because I was a Cowboys fan. I still am, but I was a Cowboys fan at that time. And it's the Patriots, and like I hate the Patriots obviously, but it's also like the Eagles who play my division, and I
Right,
hate the
right.
Eagles. I actually just ended up rooting for the Patriots, and then the Eagles won. Of course, the Eagles won the first time, but and then like I know like in Super Bowl 53, it was like everyone wanted the Rams to win. Super Bowl 51, everyone wanted the Falcons to win, which should have happened. But do you know what happened in the game where the Patriots beat the Falcons?
I
Yeah.
do not.
So the Falcons, and like there's 4 quarters, right, in
Yeah.
football. The Falcons at like middle of the third quarter, the game's almost over. They were up by 28-3, and they ended up losing that game 28-35.
What the hell?
Yeah, and I mean it's a very Tom Brady thing to happen. I mean that stuff only happens to Tom Brady, because like I hate Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady's overrated, honestly, but that's a whole other discussion. That type of stuff only happens to Tom Brady. He was down by like 20-3 in a Super Bowl. This has never happened. The Falcons had like one of the best offenses of all time, in my opinion, in that year. It was that good, and they lost. All they had to do was kick one field goal with like a quarter and a half, and they never were able to kick one field goal. They weren't able to kick and they get one touchdown, and the Patriots in that team were able to convert on every single 2-point conversion. They were able to get like all the touchdowns they needed, and of course, then the Patriots win the coin toss in overtime, and then they score on that drive. So I mean,
Is that like the biggest comeback ever?
and the Super Bowl, yeah, the biggest comeback ever. I wasn't. Hold on. I mean, if we're talking points wise, it's not. But like, if we're talking about like important games, it's the most important game the comeback ever happened in.
True.
Hold up. Let me see what the biggest... It was probably like some game in like 1980. I don't know.
Oh, probably. I feel like they had such high scoring games back then in like any sport. I mean, maybe not basketball though.
Shoot. So, the largest margin of victory in a playoff game... The largest margin of victory in a playoff game in NFL... What happened in 1940 when the Bears took the Redskins and they beat them 73-8. Well, that didn't answer my question. They beat them. That's cool. They beat them 73-0. But I mean,
They annihilated them.
dang, and a playoff game too. It's none of these are answering. Okay, so Bills versus Oilers. The Oilers don't exist anymore. They're the Tennessee Titans actually. So the Oilers moved to Tennessee and became the Tennessee Titans. 1993, the Bills were down by 32 points and they came back. So, and then another one happened really recently, like 2013. It was Chiefs versus Colts. The Colts were down like 28 points and they came back against the Chiefs and beat them by 1 point. But the biggest, I think this is just playoffs. If we're just talking playoffs, it's a 32-point deficit is the biggest comeback in NFL history, which was not the Falcons versus Falcons versus Patriots. But yeah. So it's Bills versus Oilers, and the Oilers don't even exist anymore, so no one cares.
Damn.
Yeah, 32 points. I just feel like I honestly don't get how those things happen, because like for you to be down that bad, you don't have any momentum towards you, and then you just like beat them all of a sudden.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
They were down by 35-3. Yeah. I mean, does that stuff happen in like hockey or like I know like in the MLB and hockey?
It's very uncommon. I mean, in baseball, I feel like it's easier to make a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. If you just, I don't know. Like, it's hard to kind of classify, but
I mean,
at least in most games, if you can get people on base
mm-hmm.
and the bases are loaded, you have a good chance of getting some runs back. I mean, as long as you're not 2 outs, because that's kind of rough.
It is.
But, I mean, hitting home runs doesn't always make for a good comeback if you can't get on base.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so...
Because then you'll get one run. That's like nothing.
So, I mean, I don't like NHL and like in baseball. Like, isn't it like very rare for a team to get more than 10 points in a game, right?
Okay, yeah, for hockey, for sure, it's like extremely difficult to get over 10 goals. I think it's only happened maybe twice or 3 times this year, and that's because it was like a really good team playing like a horrible team.
Mm-hmm. And then,
but
MLB,
I don't know about baseball.
Well, like I've seen like 7 points and like 8 points, but I don't really ever seen like 12 points scored or like 13 points.
I do remember, I think it was like last year. I could be wrong, but I swear I saw something that was like 20 something to like 3. It might have been like the Cubs and someone. I don't remember though. But it's very uncommon.
So, I mean, yeah, and then like in the NBA, it's like 100-point score in a game and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I feel like I wonder what the highest has been though, because it's all around the same. It's like either just over 100 to like 120 maybe at most.
Well, I know like
Usual.
the highest scoring NFL game was 113 points.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. Yeah, it was Washington at the time. Redskins versus 72 points, and the Giants. It was 41 points.
Dude just got lit up.
Yeah, and they that was a total of 113 points. It's got to be high in the NBA though. Like, shoot, what is I'm looking at highest scoring in NBA game? That's got to be like high. Let's see, 370.
What?
It was Detroit Pistons versus Denver Nuggets. It was a score of 186 to 184 in a triple overtime game.
What? I was gonna say it had to be overtime to get that many.
Yeah,
in baseball, the highest was 26 to 23 in 1922,
shoot,
which was like forever ago.
I can't even imagine like a 20-point baseball game, but it happened with both
pitchers
teams.
Must have been crying.
I mean, both I guess both teams must have had like amazing batters and like terrible like outfielders and stuff like that.
Right.
Or like, and I don't really understand hockey at all, so you have to explain that to me. Like, how do you is it just like get the puck in the goal and that's how you get a point?
Yep. And
they don't. How do they not score that much then?
Because I don't know. That is a good question, but technically the goalies are big.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're professionals, but I don't know. It's actually insane for like goalies in like the NHL. Like the pucks go so fast, and like for like the average person, you wouldn't be able to track that, like with your eyes and like follow it into your glove or something like that.
Because the highest scoring NHL game, it says tie. It's the Oilers versus the Blackhawks, and the Oilers scored 12 points, and the Blackhawks scored 9. So that's just a combined total like 21 points.
Yeah, it's not that much. But like, I don't know, I feel like it's a lot harder to score just because the goalie is so big. They take up most of the net.
True. But I mean, like, hockey seems kind of fast paced. Like, you're going super fast. We have the ice skates on and everything like that. It's just surprising to me that, like, I mean, like, is there like quarters in it? Like, how do they like?
Yeah, it's 3 periods. So
how long is each period?
20 minutes.
So yeah, that's like 60 minutes or 60 minutes to score, like, I don't know, like usually 4 points to it, like, to win a game. Like, I don't really know how that works, but I mean.
Wait, say that again.
I said, well, 3 points or like 4 points usually do it to win a game, or like 5 points.
Yeah, I mean, okay, think about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for the Ducks, if you score 5 goals on home ice, like in their home arena, you get free chicken for everyone in the arena. So that just tells you how uncommon it is to score 5 goals.
If the enemy team scores 5 points against your home team, everyone gets free stuff.
no, okay. The home team.
Oh.
So in this case, it's the Ducks.
Yeah.
I don't know if any other team does this, honestly. If the Ducks score 5 goals in a game, they don't even have to win. Just 5 goals on home ice. They get free Chick-fil-A for every single person.
Every single person in the audience, and there gets free Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Shoot, you're making me hungry now. Dude, I mean, I guess either the 5 points just really happens in hockey, or just like it's the Ducks, so they never get any points. So like what?
Okay, that is a very good point, but like I don't know. I feel like it doesn't happen that often.
I mean, I guess it can, because like I mean that's gotta cost a lot of money to everyone. I mean, are hockey games that crowded?
It depends. It depends what stadium you're in.
Like the Ducks stadium, is that? I mean, it's in LA, so I
guess
it's
not. Well, if you think about it, the Kings, the LA team, like the other one, I guess, they are sold out like every game. The Ducks, I would say, are anywhere from like 50 to like 75%
so the
full
Kings
capacity.
Are the more
I don't know how
team.
that works.
So the team,
yeah,
because I know like Rams, when they play, and they play in the same stadium. Do the Kings and Ducks play in the same stadium?
They do not.
So the Chargers and Rams play in the same stadium, and I'd say like Rams, it's usually almost full capacity, like maybe 90, 80%. Chargers games, unless it's like a very important game, shoot, maybe even less than 50. There's not a lot of Chargers fans, honestly. Like really,
Yeah, there isn't.
that's like a whole meme that like Chargers have no fans. I mean, the Chargers are only now just kind of, even with like one of the best quarterbacks ever, like in Phillip Rivers, they're still irrelevant. Like the only time the Chargers were relevant is when they went to the Super Bowl, and then when they went to the AFC Championship against the undefeated Patriots and lost. And like they're just starting to become relevant again because they have a good team now. So, like they have like Justin Herbert and stuff like that, and like Austin Eckler. They're now just relevant, especially because they made like a lot of moves in the offseason, like trading and stuff like that. Is there like an NHL team that's like just irrelevant that like no one like talks about? Right now it's the Jets kind of, but
like totally irrelevant. Like people forget about it.
Yeah,
I would say Columbus.
I've never heard of that. So.
Columbus Blue Jackets. They're like totally forgotten all the time.
Really. For an NFL team that's totally forgotten right now, it's because like now that like the draft has started, I wouldn't say before the draft it was the Jets, because like no one talks about the Jets,
Yeah.
And after that I would have said the Dolphins, but they made a lot of moves in the offseason, so it might be like the Bears or like the Falcons, honestly, right now. Because no one ever talks about that. Or even, like, the Commanders. The only reason why they're even kind of relevant because they got a new name. But other than that, like, no one ever talks about the Commanders. So it's not, like, anything new.
True, yeah.
Or the Vikings also. Just, like, no one talks about the Vikings, They always go, like, 8-8. Or now this time, 8-9. They always just go, like, barely above 500. Or, like, right at 500. And now,
so very forgettable.
Yeah, and like now in the NFL, you can't even like have a perfect like 500 season since there's an odd amount of games.
Right.
Like in the NHL, can you have like a perfect like 500 like season? Is that
that's a good question. I think so. I think it's an even amount of games that everyone plays.
Because for the NFL for a while it used to be 16 games, so you could go 8-8, but now they for like. No reason at all, really. They just expanded it to like 17 games, so you can't go. Like I don't. Like it seemed like no reason. Like maybe it's just because they wanted to have more football, and like I'm okay with that. But like it just really seemed like there was like no reason, and it was like the same thing when they like updated the playoffs. They like I think like 2 years ago. Actually no, was it this year? It might have been this year. Hold up. NFL. 2021 playoff. It was either this year or 2 years ago. They expanded the playoffs from 6 teams to 7 teams for like no reason.
Oh yeah, just to make.
Yeah, more.
Wait, was there was always a bye though?
Yeah. So the way the way it worked was when there were 6 teams, the top 2 teams got a bye, and now that there's 7 teams, that the top 1 team gets a bye.
Oh.
So yeah, it was like that for 2 years. And both times, the Green Bay Packers have been the number 1 seed when there was 7 teams in the playoffs, and both times they haven't even made it to the Super Bowl. So there's that. I mean, I think I like the 7. I think I like the 7-team one better, just because I think like only the best team should get a first round bye. It's kind of weird that like the second best team gets a first round bye.
Yeah, that is weird.
And I mean, like that's the only way it could work if you're going to give out buys, is that the top 2 team gets a bye. But at that point, just like don't give a bye to anyone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
I feel like the number 1 seed should have to play. Like I feel like shouldn't like the best seed be tested and play the worst seed? Like just like
I feel like that would make the most sense.
But now instead it's like the second. So like this year, the number 2 seed was the Buccaneers, and they played the Eagles, and I mean they won handedly, but like. The Bills almost lost to like the Colts, and they were the 2nd seed, and they were the 7th seed. So sometimes you actually get interesting games. I mean, the reason why people really don't like it is because most of the times the 7th seed is just going to get blown out in the playoffs, and that usually is what happens. But it didn't happen almost one time, so there's that. And then you kind of get more interesting games when it's like the 4th seed versus the 5th seed, because that's way more like close, But usually. Actually, and this sucks. This year in the wild card weekend, every single team that was home at home won their game except the Dallas Cowboys. So, and that's just very Dallas Cowboys. Like that stuff only happens to the Dallas Cowboys. And everyone, the thing is, like, everyone made a big, this is the life of a Cowboy fan right here. So everyone made a big deal about it when the Cowboys, the third seed, okay, so like not the best team in football, lost to the 49ers, and no one cared when the 49ers beat the Green Bay Packers, who were considered maybe the Super Bowl champions this year. Like, everyone had the Green Bay Packers winning the Super Bowl this year. And no one talked about it when the Green Bay Packers lost to the 49ers. But everyone made a big deal about it when the Cowboys lost to the 49ers. And it's like, dude, like, are you serious right now? It's like, come on. The thing is, like, I honestly think that the Cowboys could have at least gone to the NFC Championship this year, because the Cowboys almost beat the Buccaneers in Week 1 with all their guys, and obviously it's Week 1. And if we beat the 49ers, we play the Buccaneers, and they had, like, 2 guys out that were, like, really good. Like, they had Godwin out, and I think they had Mike Evans out, too. And I think we won that one, because it's, like, it was a very close game. It was, like, I think 2-point difference in the first game. And then when we play them again, they don't have 2 of their stars, and I think it's fair to say we beat them, right? But it's the Cowboys, so they probably don't even beat them, but that doesn't even matter. But, yeah, another year, playoff disappointment. Every year, let's go Cowboys, but it's like I feel like a Blue Jays fan, I guess, right now, because because we did 12-5 in the playoffs, third best team in the NFC, and we're the only team that doesn't. I mean, and to be fair, the 49ers got lucky. I'm just saying that they did get. Everyone agrees that the 49ers got lucky that game with the Cowboys honestly just got a lot of penalties that game, so they kind of ruined their chance. It's like every single time the Cowboys did a good play, someone was holding or someone was, doing a penalty. So it was very awesome to watch that happen. Like one time we got I think a 40-yard gain, and guess what? Penalty, so it doesn't count. And now we're back even farther. So thank you. They just did it, and then the Cowboys just drafted a dude that got a lot of penalties in college, so looks like we're going right back to having a lot of penalties, and the Cowboys had the most penalties, by the way, of the entire NFL this season. And I think we tied for the most penalties in a playoff game ever. So
wow, what the hell?
Yeah, that's that's awesome. I honestly after that, I don't think I felt that bad after watching that game and ever. It was pretty bad because, on paper, the Cowboys are a better team than the 49ers. We have better dudes. They have 2 really good players, but overall, our quarterback's better, and we have a better O-line, probably have a better defense. They were a 6th seed for the reason. They were almost a 7th seed. In fact, if they didn't win the last game, they wouldn't even been in the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah. They had a 9-8 record. They were barely over 500. And, of course, we lose to them because it's the Cowboys. And the thing that sucks even more is that, the Cowboys and 49ers have, always had this, playoff rivalry. Even going back to the 90s, they had, a huge playoff rivalry, kind of died down, but, it's starting to heat up again. And we lost, and, that's just really nice. So, I don't know. It's at least the Ducks don't make the playoffs, so they can't break your heart, but...
Yeah, that is true, because it would be a shame if they made the playoffs, because they would get demolished.
True. How many seeds are there in the NHL play? How many teams make it?
I just
per
saw
conference?
It.
Per conference, that is, because overall there's 14 teams that make the NFL playoffs, but there's 7 teams in each conference. And in basketball, I think there's 6 teams in each conference that make the playoffs. Yeah.
I know it's even for sure, which is probably a given. Okay, so there is 8 in each.
8. How many teams are there
in total? I think there's 32.
Oh, okay. Because let me see. So there's a play-in tournament, but I think it should count as a playoff game, honestly, but it's not technically a playoff game. But the 9 and 10 seed play to get into the playoffs, and then the 7 and 8 seed play to get into the playoffs. So it's this year. It was the Pelicans versus the Spurs in the 9-10. So the Pelicans won that game, and they got to get demolished by the number 1 seed. So that's fun. And so it's obviously the 9 and 10 seed they play to play the number 1 seed, and then the 7 and 8 seed play to play the number 2 seed. So it was like Timberwolves versus Clippers. Timberwolves won that. Actually had a good fight. They actually put up a good fight against the the Grizzlies, but they won that. And then on the other side, it was the 9-10 Charlotte Hornets versus Atlanta Falcons. I'm not Atlanta Falcons. It's Atlanta Hawks. It's like very like similar to the Falcons. So way to be original. They got to go and have the the opportunity to get demolished by the number 1 seed, the Heat, which they did. And then it was the 7 seed and 8 seed Nets versus Cavaliers. Nets won that, and they got swept by the Celtics. So it's like very rarely do those play-in teams actually do anything. It's more just kind of like a novelty, like, hey, we actually made it to the playoffs, so we're cool. But it's like
so what it looks like for the NHL, the seed, I guess you would call them seeds. I don't know if that's actually what they are, but so there's 1, 2, and 3, and then 2 wild card spots in each division. So wait, no, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 because it goes Atlantic, Metropolitan, Central, Pacific, and then there's 2 wild card kind of spots. So it looks like 2 and 3 play each other almost every time, and then 1, like the best team, arguably in the first spot, plays the wild card that basically barely gets in.
So is that like the 4 then, or like the?
So that's basically how they choose each game for the playoffs.
Wait, so there's 2? Okay, wait. So that means that does that mean there's 2 games where it's the 1 seed versus the 4 seed, and 2 games where it's the 2 seed versus the 3 seed? Can't they just like say like 1 seed versus 8 seed or something like that?
Yeah, it's weird. It's just weird because how it's laid out. Because there's technically it's just East and West, but in each of them there's 2 subdivisions, I guess you would call them.
Well, I got a picture. I want to ask you if this is like an actual accurate representation of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
It is. Whoa, you mean just like in general? This was last year.
That was last year. Is that like an accurate, like how they set it up? That's kind of weird. Yeah. It's like, can't you just say like 1 seed versus 8 seed, and then like 2 seed versus 7 seed, and then?
But yeah. So it's like whatever the 4th seed is basically the wild card.
But wait, so are those like playoff games like divisional playoff games? Like, are they teams within like the same division?
Yes,
like
until
Vegas
a certain point.
So like Vegas and Minnesota, they're in the same division.
Yeah, so literally until the finals, that's the only time they cross paths the 2 divisions.
So until Montreal versus Vegas, that every single team was an in division game. If you're looking at that, like
okay, so if you look from Toronto to Winnipeg, on the left side, that is a subdivision. Of Colorado to Minnesota, that's another subdivision, and that is all. I don't want to mess this up. It's either the East or West. So that is one of the divisions. So technically they do cross paths that way, right?
Yeah.
But then the 2 divisions, like East and West, they only 1 team of each get to end up playing each other, which is Montreal and Tampa Bay in this case.
So less teams will make the playoffs in those divisions or whatever? It's kind of goofy.
So it is equal.
Yeah.
I know, it's kind of hard to explain. So it's just 4 from every subdivision.
Okay.
So it is even.
So there's 4 subdivisions, and then they're seeded within those divisions from 1 to 4, and then they play each other in those divisions until the conference, like, final.
Yeah, and then in the conference final, you play against the one of the subdivisions. That's part of your same division as a whole.
So when you win that game, you become the division champion, and then the 2 division champions play each other basically in this.
Right, and that's how you get the overall winner.
That's like kind of how it works in the NFL. Like, you can play division like teams in the playoffs. Like for the Rams, 2 out of the 4 teams they played in the playoffs were in their division. But, like, it isn't, like, set up like that. Like, you can, like, not play any team in your division the entire way through, basically. It's just, like, 1 through 7, like, not, like, it's not like where, like, the Cowboys would play, like, the Eagles in the first game or whatever like that, because they're in the same division. It's, like, if the Cowboys were the 2nd seed, they just play whoever is the 7th seed. So, if the Cowboys were the 2nd seed of the season, they would have played the Eagles, but that's just, like, coincidence,
And I feel like that would be better, though, because in the NHL, you have to play basically your rivals.
Yeah.
Like from the start.
Couldn't, wouldn't, it be better? So, like, do you know which team was worse? Was it Montreal or St. Louis, which one was worse, do you think, from last year? Do you know? Like, do you remember?
From last year,
Yeah.
Montreal was better only for last year because this year they were absolutely garbage.
So was St. Louis better than Montreal?
Um, I would say like on paper, yes,
Okay. So
but I don't know if they would win it. It's kind of
so
arguable.
let's just say like St. Louis had a worse record. I feel like it shouldn't matter if St. Louis isn't in the same division as Toronto. They should still play Toronto. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just weird how it's like set up if you think about it.
Yeah, it's because like you had to play in division teams until the conference championship.
Yeah, it's very like secluded.
So, I mean, and like it could honestly like help a team out. Honestly, if they like if their division like sucks, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it could help
exactly.
them. Because like all they gotta do, like all Vegas had to do was play in division teams until the championship, where they got beat by Montreal. Like, and if Tampa Bay is like, does Tampa Bay play in a really bad division? Because haven't they won the Stanley Cup 2 years in a row now, or something like that?
So yes, but I would say their division, okay, used to be bad, but Carolina and Florida are like they're one of the best. I would say the teams from that year with the best record were probably Tampa, Florida, and Carolina, and they're
Oh,
all in the same division.
dude, I just realized that Toronto was the number 1 seed and they lost the 4 seed again. It can happen
Exactly,
again.
exactly.
And then Montreal went all the way to the Stanley Cup
Yep,
and lost, but
because they weren't actually that good. Like Toronto should have won,
like
but
the whole thing,
they
like
don't
the
know how
Stanley
to.
Cup, like everything, they should have won
No,
everything.
no, they should have beaten Montreal though for sure.
Do you think they should have beaten Winnipeg?
Yes, but the
Okay.
thing is, Edmonton should have beaten Winnipeg, but Edmonton is just they're the same as the Leafs. Honestly, they're big
They're like a
choke
lesser
artists. They have
version
like
of the Leafs.
McDavid, and everyone knows who that is, and he's like
The Bill,
great and like
I guess they're kind of like the Bills, because the Bills are choke masters, but they like do good in the playoffs. Like
mm,
like the Bills are total choke masters, but they still like at least win a game. Like the Bills choked the AFC Championship 2 years ago, and then this was like honestly, I think this is worse than any playoff game last year. So the Bills were up by like 3 points, right, with 13 seconds left. All they had to do was stop the Chiefs from getting the field goal range with 13 seconds left on the clock. Now, yes, the Chiefs had 2 timeouts, but still, it's 13 seconds. And the Chiefs were able to get in the field goal range. They kicked, they made it, and then I mean, then this kind of gets hazy. This is kind of controversial. The Chiefs won the coin toss and then drove down the field after a game that was like super contentious, and then like the Bills didn't even have a chance to get the ball back. They
okay,
actually
yeah.
changed overtime rules.
That brings me to a question because you know more about football than me.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because I've been seeing a lot of people talking about the overtime
Yeah.
rules. What do you think about that?
Well, this is my take on it. So, after the Bills had blown that like 13 like second thing, I no longer like if they lose in overtime, lose in overtime. But I feel like football is supposed to be fair. I feel like what they should do instead, like people say, do college rules, and basically college rules is if you score, you get a chance to score. If you score, they get a chance to score, and they just go back and forth over and over again until someone finally doesn't score. I think what they should do is they either should do that or they should just have another quarter, another 15 minutes, and they just play that. Because that's what's in the NBA. Or like maybe not 15 minutes, 10 minutes. But,
Yeah.
I mean, college rules is cool. Like, it is awesome. But, dude, like, you can tell by the time the game is over that, like, everyone's about to pass out.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
there was like a game where it was LSU versus A&M in college, and that went into like 7 overtimes. The game ended up being like 5 hours longer than it should have. And the funny thing is, and the A&M Aggies are like my favorite college team because Texas or whatever, but the LSU guys thought they'd won. They like poured. I guess it was an important game. They got the bucket of Gatorade and poured it all over the coach, and it turns out that the last play actually was fouled on by the LSU. So they ran that play again. A&M got a touchdown, went into overtime, and then A&M ended up beating the team. And it's funny, there's like this clip where like you can see the the coach, and he's still like super wet from all like the Gatorade on them, and he's just like looking onto the field as like everyone rushes the field after they beat LSU, and he's like so pissed off because like he just
That's so funny.
it was really, but like. And my take on it is that everyone should have a chance to get the ball. They have done that. They did change overtime rules where it's like once the team scores, the other team gets a chance to score. But after that, if the team does score, then it's sudden death. So it's still the same exact thing. You know what I'm saying? If the other team, so the way I think they should do it is just keep playing. So like, I think this part's okay. If a team scores a field goal, if the other team goes and drives down the field and scores a touchdown, they win. I think that should still be the rule. But I feel like one team scores a touchdown, then you give the other team to score a touchdown, and it should just keep going like that until someone finally doesn't score a touchdown. I think it should be like that because that's just the most fair, right? Like,
yeah, I feel like the way that they have it is just so that the game can just be over sooner.
Yeah, and I feel really bad for the Bills because I think the Bills honestly could have won the Super Bowl if they win that game because I think they stomped Cincinnati in the AFC Championship, and I think they honestly have a really good shot to beat the Rams. Especially if OBJ gets hurt again, because Odell Beckham got hurt. He was like a really good player. He got hurt in the Super Bowl. If he gets hurt again in that Super Bowl, I think it's a guarantee for the Bills to win.
Yeah, because they were doing great.
Yeah, I mean, they stopped the Patriots in the wild card like 40 something like points. Insane. It was like all the years of hatred the Bills had against the Patriots for Tom Brady beating them senselessly. Like finally just came out and they just like it was awesome honestly because I hate the Patriots. It was awesome watching them get demolished. And I was rooting for the Bills to win that game. And it was really sad because like Josh Allen, their quarterback, he honestly played like perfectly. He played just as good as and it's like very like everyone agrees on that. Like whoever won that coin toss was gonna win that game. It was like because of just how the momentum was going. Each team was scoring a touchdown in each drive. Like, no one was punting the ball away. So it was like whoever won that. And, of course, it's the Chiefs who, like, won, I think, every single coin toss that year. Like, actually. Like, they won, like, even the AFC Championship against the Bengals. They won the coin toss, but they still lost because they weren't able to get in the field goal range because the other team intercepted them. And the way it works, actually, I don't like this. So if the other team gets an interception in overtime, all they got to do is drive down the field and touchdown. The other team doesn't get a choice. And if your team, let's say your team already drove down the field, kicks a field goal, because if you kick a field goal, the game doesn't end. If your team kicks a field goal, right, in overtime, and then the other team gets a ball, you stop that team, but then you throw a touchdown on the next possession, you still lose that game, even if the other team scored a touchdown. So let's say you score a touchdown, you give the other team the ball, the other team scores a touchdown, you get the ball back, you throw an interception, you still lose that game.
That's crazy.
That's really weird. I want to make sure, I'm pretty sure, like, that sounds right. I feel like there might be something messed up, but that's basically it. So,
like, the thing about how the overtime kind of decides, like, the game so quick, it's kind of like how they added in the MLB, like, a second base runner in any extra innings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I kind of got it wrong. So basically, if like field goals don't matter that much in overtime. Like if you score a field goal, the other team will get a chance to score a field goal, and that's what happened. So the Rams, the 49ers originally the Rams got the ball in overtime. I'm pretty sure. So they scored a field goal, whatever. That doesn't end the game. And then I think the 49ers, what they did was they scored the Rams had 20. It was 24-17, and then the 49ers scored a field goal or got a touchdown at the very end. And then the 49ers in overtime, they act honestly like their quarterback sucks. Like he's terrible. They scored a field goal, whatever. So they were up by 27-24, and then it was like the Rams didn't actually score a field goal. I messed it up. So basically, if you score a field goal and the other team throws an interception, then you automatically win. So like I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense because it's like you're up by like you're up right now because you just scored a field goal. Like you're up in points and then you throw an interception. But that's basically just like saying like that like. They're just expecting you to score more points if you get an interception. They're just like automatically like, yeah, they're gonna score another point and end the game in overtime. It's like the Rams could have stopped them because they have like an all-time great defense, because they got intercepted. And it's actually really funny because the 49ers lost the NFC Championship because one of their guys dropped an interception. That's why they lost because like near the very end of the game. The 49ers are up by like a couple points, and there was like this freebie interception thrown. Like it was very wide open. The dude caught it and he dropped it. And like everyone agrees that was like a game changer, and the 49ers could have gone to the Super Bowl, but because they dropped the interception, they lost. And it's funny because the 49ers had beat the Rams. They played in the same division, so if you play in the same division as a team in the NFL, you play them 2 times a year. And the 49ers had beat the Rams 6 years in a row. Every time. 2 times every year, they beat them 6 times in a row. So... And then the 49ers finally lost to the Rams on the most important game the two teams could play against each other. It was really funny, honestly.
So does every other team, if you're not in the same division, is it just one?
What do you mean?
One game? So, you play one game against every team?
No, you don't there's like the Cowboys didn't play the 49ers until the playoffs. Like they didn't play the Rams. You don't actually play you don't actually play every single team because there's 32 teams, there's just not enough weeks. So what happens is since you play your division rivals 2 times, that's 8. That's sorry, my bad. No, that is 8, right? 2, 4, 6. No, that's 6 games. So that's 6 games out of your 17 already that you play against your rivals. Then what you do is, since there's 2 conferences, your conference will play one NFC conference and one AFC conference. So like this year, the NFC East played the AFC West and the NFC South. And then the rest of the games are just like random games from like different teams and stuff like that. So like if I look at the Dallas Cowboys schedule right now, so the NFC East this year is playing the NFC North, and so you play every single team in both those divisions. So the NFC North have the Chicago Bears, the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, and the Minnesota Vikings. So every single NFC East team is playing them. And then we're also playing the AFC South, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Colts, the Tennessee Titans, and Texans. We played them all once, so that's 8. That's 8 more teams out of that, and then the rest of the games are random. And the Dallas Cowboys schedule is actually hard this year because the random teams we're playing are the Rams, who won the Super Bowl, the Bengals, who were in the Super Bowl, and the Buccaneers that have Tom Brady on their team. Those are the 3 random games we're playing. Which is like terrible. Like we played both teams that made the Super Bowl. Like you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then so it's 3 random games, and that should add up. Let me see, 8 plus 6. That's like 12. No, it's not. I'm bad at math. I'm sorry.
Me too.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, that makes it. So, yeah. And then the 3 teams you play, there has to be, like, some sort of method. They say there is, but I'm pretty sure it's just random, honestly. Like, I'm pretty sure it's just random. But, so, like, every single division you'll play once every 4 years. So, we're not going to play the NFC North until 4 years from now, after this year. Because it's every 4 years. Because there's 4 divisions in each conference. It's North, East, South, West. So like AFC North, South, East, West, So
yeah,
I think like you can kind of guess it because I'm pretty sure we haven't played the NFC North in 4 years. So I think like next year we're going to play like the NFC West. So that'd be like the 49ers, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals. Like this year, let me see. This season, we played, we played the NFC South, which is the Carolina Panthers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the New Orleans Saints, and what's the last team? The Falcons. And then we played the AFC West, which is the Kansas City Chiefs, the Denver Broncos, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Chargers, which we beat the Chargers, by the way. Haha, take the L. And then the random teams we played was Arizona, Minnesota, and then we played New England Patriots. So, I mean, I feel like we should have like 8-team game schedule because that just makes more sense. Like 3 random teams seems weird. It's like 4 random teams sounds way better. That just comes up. But no, and it was like that when we had 16 games. It was just 2 random teams that we played instead of 3 random teams. So just like another random team was playing. But they gave us both teams. The Dallas Cowboys had to play both teams to make the Super Bowl this year. Like, really? We got to play the Rams and the Bengals, and they both made the Super Bowl last year, which sucks.
Yeah, who decides that?
I don't know, but like I know like basketball, NHL, you guys just play every single team. So,
Yeah.
But like there's like some teams that play like ease schedules, like I think like the Eagles like played basically only teams that were like below 500.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I forgot who played the NFC North this year, but the teams that played the NFC North had to go against the Packers, who are good, but the other teams they had to go against were the Vikings, Bears, and Lions, who were all like below 500. So like sometimes you can have like your team can do really good, but that's only because your schedule is like super easy. Like that's what happened with the Cardinals. Kind of their first couple games, like they were 7-0. They beat the Titans, who were okay, but they're kind of overrated. Then they beat the Vikings, who sucked, the Jaguars, who sucked. They beat the Rams, but they had a lot of injured dudes. They beat the 49ers, who had injuries. They beat the Browns, who sucked. They beat the Texans, who sucked. And they finally played a good team against the Packers, and they lost. And then the Cardinals just never really recovered after that. They were like 10. They were 7-0. They didn't lose a single game for the first 7 weeks. And then they ended up being 11-5. So they only won like 4 more games. And then they went out in the first round of the playoffs. So that's just like, that's just kind of how it works sometimes. You'll have just a good schedule for the first couple weeks. And then you just suck for the rest. I mean, they even lost to like the Seahawks in the last game, 8 points, and the Seahawks only won 6 games. So it's like very like, I think like NFL schedules don't really show how good your team is because you don't play every single team. I feel like the playoffs is when like you can show like how good your team actually is.
Yeah, I feel like you should play every single team.
It's just like that would take 31 weeks if they only did it. What's it called? If they only played once a week, that's 31 weeks.
Yeah, and how many weeks is it now?
18.
Yeah, that's a lot more.
And like I feel like since football is such a hard game, it's like kind of asking for a lot for them to play more than once a week,
Yeah.
So like, I mean, as much as it sucks that like, you can't really prove how good you are until the playoffs, I think that's just like how it kind of has to be. You can't really like, I know like baseball, you don't really ever get hit that much unless you get. I mean, I bet getting hit by a baseball in the face hurts a lot, but like I don't think that happens a lot, right? It's like.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it does. I mean,
more like the baseball goes like right back to the pitcher, like when he hits it, like the batter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've never seen that happen. I imagine it hurts terribly, but like I haven't seen that much. Or like, I can't imagine the basketball is a very like physically demanding sport. I mean, like I bet it's like exhausting, like run that much, but like football, you're getting like hit, and like injuries happen, like and they're common, It's kind of weird for like a mainline thing where people get hurt and it's common, but like, yeah, I just feel like every other sport, it makes sense that there's a lot of games because you can play every single team, but the NFL, yeah, I understand why it's only like 18 weeks, And I think,
it is a lot more demanding than really any other sport.
Yeah, and I do think if football is going to eventually reach like 20 weeks, I think they're originally because like I guarantee like at least 20 years from now, football, the NFL is going to add more teams, especially like teams that like San Diego, which lost their team. Like if you look up like the most like populated cities in America, let me see. Populated city, and I bet like they're gonna add like a Canada team eventually. Like I feel like they'll do that. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
So, New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, Philadelphia, they all have teams, but the other two in the top 10, San Antonio and San Diego, don't have teams. So I feel like at least in 20 years from now, those teams will both get teams, There's like a lot of areas I feel like would do pretty good. Or like St. Louis, like they don't have a team anymore since
I feel like that would work well.
The Rams moved, they were in St. Louis, but the Rams moved back to Los Angeles. I feel like St. Louis probably wants to get a team. Chicago has a team. Like I think Austin. I mean, maybe they should have a team. I don't know.
Is that like, as far as like Texas goes? Is there like a way more populated area of it, or is it all kind of just spread out evenly?
So
for like just the cities.
Cities. So Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and Austin are like where most of the like. Let's see. San Antonio has a population of 1.5 million. Austin has a population of 1 million. Dallas has a population of like a million too, and Houston has. So those are all like a million. But the rest of Texas is pretty just spread out. You know? Like the rest of Texas, a lot of farmland and stuff like that. Most people in Texas don't live in the big cities because there's a population of like almost 30 million. And I think like probably only, I would say around probably only 7 million of those live in the big cities. Like I don't know how Canada works. I know like the provinces, that's what they're called, right? Like states basically. They're bigger, aren't they? Like way bigger than actual states.
Like way bigger with way less people for the most part.
Yeah. It's like, I think, what's the population of Canada? It has to be at least 100 million, right? I don't know.
Maybe.
I know population in America is like 300 million. Let's see. Population of Canada. Oh, I was way off. 38 million.
Oh, yeah.
But isn't there like 7 provinces there, right? Or like...
Oh, God.
You don't know your own provinces? Oh, my God. This is an American moment right here. He doesn't know geography.
No, I have no idea.
American moment. He doesn't know geography.
But it's also provinces and territories.
Is there a difference?
There is not, other than the funny name.
So let me see.
There's 10.
Yeah. There's...
And 3 territories.
Is Northwest Territory like... In America, we have like Indian reservations, which we call territories. I don't think it's like that in Canada, but...
Ours is just like... I think it's just a funky name.
Okay.
Like, I don't really know the reasoning behind it.
Okay. So, let's see. There's Yukon, Northwest Territory... my bad. British Columbia, that's a weird name. Alberta, shoot, Saskatchewan, what the heck? Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Nunavut, what's that? None.
Yeah, none of it.
None of it. Wait, is that actually called none of it? Quebec.
Yeah, I don't want none of it.
Quebec.
I mean, you can say it any way you want.
Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah, it's like Edward a 2 for
Island.
1.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's PEI.
New Brunswick and Nova Scotia.
So apparently the difference, or maybe the only difference between provinces and territories is that just the laws that they, I guess they
There's
just
different
don't.
laws over them.
Yeah. Just the government kind of regulates them differently, I guess. That's what it looks
like.
I'm
willing to like set up a trade where we give you guys Canada. Yeah, I mean not Canada, Alaska. You can have Alaska, honestly. Like.
Okay, what do you guys want?
We want the city of Toronto. That's it.
Okay, we'll cut it out for you guys.
I bet. Is Toronto like near the border?
It's, I mean, yes, but it's also. Yeah. You could cut it out. There's like there's water on one side of it. I think.
Really? Is it like? Let me see. Let me look up a map of Canada with cities. Actually, just map of Canada with Toronto. Because we want the Raptors and we want the Blue Jays.
Yeah. It's on the water partially.
Oh yeah, you can definitely just cut that out right there. And, you guys get Alaska. You finally get that little weird hand of that, like right next to Canada.
What do they even use it for?
Shoot, ice and like,
ice.
Honestly, I just don't want it to be in America, so I can say Texas is the biggest, state.
Oh, is it actually the biggest?
Alaska's the biggest. Yeah, it's big. Like it's big. Hold up. Alaska inside of the U.S. It's actually like kind of humongous. Hold on, let me send you a picture. But it doesn't even count because it's not even a part of America. You know what I'm saying? Like, there you go.
Right. Yeah.
Do you see that right there? Alaska, the very far island stretches all the way from California, and then the end of it can reach to Florida. So it's kind of juicy. It's kind of big.
Wait a second. What part is connected to the states?
None of it. None of it is connected at all. It is completely separated. Exactly. You want it, right?
Yeah, I want that. Yeah, what the hell is that?
Do you want Hawaii as well? Right.
I'll take it.
Hold on. Let me see. Matt, you know where Alaska is, right?
Yeah. It's all the way the top left of Canada.
Yeah, none of it's touching us. Like, that's why I don't want it. It's like...
That's baloney. We deserve that.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying, right? And, I can also say that Texas is the biggest state as well, which is a state I think is the best state because I live there, obviously. Yeah, I think it's a fair trade. We might even throw in like Hawaii if you want that too. You want Hawaii? You want
Is that
Hawaii?
like, I don't know, I feel like that's probably the place that's part of the states that doesn't really seem like it is. Other than,
It doesn't contribute that much. I can't. I've never heard of anyone from Alaska, so you know.
yeah.
What does Alaska? I'm looking at. What does Alaska do for the
I know they do
USA?
cruises for like
Let's see.
tourists, but I don't know anything other than that.
Why is Alaska
It
so
looks nice.
important to the U.S.? The state is also a key part of the United States defense system, with military bases located in Anchorage and Fairbanks, and it's the country's only connection to the Antarctic, which ensures it has a seat at the table as melting glaciers allow the exploration of the region's significant. Yeah, it doesn't sound important to me. You can have it.
Okay, can we have the military base along with it?
Shoot, you can have that. I don't care that much. Like, just give us like Toronto and a couple first round picks, and I think we can set up a deal.
First round picks. You can have a bunch of the icebergs at the very top of
Yeah, you
none
want
of it.
you want all those like weird icebergs on top of Canada. They
Yeah, we don't need those.
they do that much. They don't do that much.
They don't do nothing. I don't even think anyone
Who
can
owns
even
who
live
owns
up there.
Greenland? Do you want Greenland? think I think actually
It's its own country, is it
no.
not?
I thought like Sweden or the Netherlands own it. Hold up, another research time.
That's a good question.
Who owns Greenland?
It's near Ireland, United Kingdom, Norway.
Let me see. So the people that own Greenland, who are they? The Kingdom of Denmark owns Greenland.
Oh, does that mean they own Iceland too?
Let's find out. Yeah, they own Iceland too.
That is so weird.
Yeah,
I would never have guessed that.
Yeah, Greenland's actually closer to the Americas, and I mean, like in Greenland, like it looks huge, but it actually isn't that big. Like, it's not actually that big. I hold up. How big is Greenland actually? Yeah, it's not even that big. Hold up. Greenland just got exposed, dude. Let me see this picture of Greenland. Hold up. Because like the map projections like make it look big and stuff like that, but that's what it actually looks like.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I'll put that up on the screen, I guess.
Wait, I would have never known that. What the hell?
I guess visual. I mean, people that's on Spotify, they can't really, see what it looks like. But yeah, it's actually not that big. It's very
That's tiny.
Yeah,
Well,
map-
what would be the equivalent? What would it be the same size as?
shoot, like Libya in Africa. Like shoot, hold up. It's a good question. Like, hold up. How big is Greenland? I guess compared to the United States is a good. Hold on. So, the United States is actually about 4.5 times bigger than Greenland.
Damn.
So.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
Oh yeah, it can fit inside of a lot of. Hold on, let me see. Let me put. Actually, here's the picture I'll put up to expose Greenland instead. But let me send that to you. That's how big it is compared to other countries.
That's crazy. Yeah, it looks a lot bigger on the map. They played with us.
Yeah, I mean it's map. I'm actually in like a, like geography class kind of right now, so we kind of learned that. But yeah, Greenland's a scam. Like it's really not that big.
That is a scam. Does that mean that Iceland is even smaller than it looks too? Because it's tiny as hell.
Does Iceland look big on the map?
No, it doesn't. But does that mean it looks smaller than it actually looks?
I think Iceland is in a very like strategic, like not strategically, but like I think it's like right in a position where like it shouldn't really be distorted that much. But since like Greenland like touches the top of the map and kind of like below the map, it gets distorted so much. I think Iceland is not that like distorted. Yeah, Iceland seems to be like in a place where it's like probably not that distorted. But since Greenland touches like the very tip of the map, of like the globe, like since it's like right up there, like where like this, the top of the sphere is and stuff like that, it gets distorted like super hard. Like even if like other like projections of the map of the world were like it's like less distorted, it still like is so much bigger than it actually is. You can never really get an actual like depiction of what the world looks like, because it's just like so
yeah.
big. But yeah, no, Greenland's a total scam. It's like,
Okay, wait. Greenland has way less of a population than Iceland, and it's
Yeah.
like 10 times bigger.
Well, that's because Greenland, there's nothing to do there. Like Iceland at least has like hot like springs and stuff like that where you can swim in. Like
Oh,
Greenland, what's
right.
there in
Yeah, because
Greenland?
Greenland is actually cold land.
Yeah. Like who? No one actually cares about Greenland. You know? If you, like,
That's a scam.
I mean, yeah. Greenland is a total scam. Like that's why I don't even want Greenland actually. You know, I bet that who did I say owned it? Who did it was
Denmark?
Denmark. I bet Denmark doesn't want it either. I bet they're trying to sell it.
Sell it.
But Greenland's just a player that nobody wants, so probably probably gonna be out of the league sometime soon. Honestly, I don't know.
Damn.
It's like Antarctica. Maybe Antarctica wants it. Who wants to sell to Antarctica? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's nothing up there anyways. We can just shove it up there.
Yeah, I bet Antarctica wants it. I don't know. Denmark should trade Greenland to Antarctica, see what they can get out of it. Also, as well as like Africa's really big. Like, hold on, how big is Africa really? Because like there's like a bunch of countries. Like, here's the picture. Look at this picture. So many countries can fit inside of Africa. Africa's huge. There you go.
Holy.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
So what country is that? That's the United States, Spain, France, Germany, Italy, Eastern Europe, India Part 2, China Part 2, Japan, and the UK all inside of it.
That's insane.
Pretty big.
That's huge.
Yeah. Wait, how big is Asia then?
Like the entire continent?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Africa's a continent too. Hold up. How big is Asia? I mean, I hope you knew that, right? You knew that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure. Let's see. Let me look compared to other countries. Because Africa's like, I mean, not Africa. Asia's like massive. Like just looking on the map already, it looks massive, right? Like it has China, India, most of Russia, like basically all in the Middle East, right? Like that's got to be. Hold up, let me see. It takes up 29.3% of the Earth's landmass.
Holy.
Africa takes up 20.3% of the Earth's landmass. North America takes up 16% of the Earth's landmass. South America takes up 11% of the Earth's landmass. Antarctica takes up 9.19% of the Earth's landmass. Europe takes up less percent than Antarctica. Europe takes up 6.8% of Earth's landmass, and then coming at last is Australia that takes up only 6.3% of the Earth's landmass.
That's crazy, the difference.
Yeah. Why is Australia even like? Is it only a continent just because it's like not connected to anyone else? So they kind of just have.
Yeah, isn't it just an island?
Yeah, well, it's like a big island compared to like most islands, but I mean like.
Right.
I'm just surprised it's a continent because it's also a country. It's a country and a continent at the same time. Because
I feel like living there would be so weird, though. You literally have to fly anywhere. You can't travel outside of the...
that is true. Like, I mean, there's a bunch of islands connected to it, but like, I mean, North America, you could just, I think, can you drive to South America? Like, I know, like, they're connected, right? It's just like a tiny little, like strip of, like, water that doesn't connect them, so I'm pretty sure there's, like, at least a bridge that you can get to South America with, right? And there's gotta be.
I don't know.
And then if you really want to get, risky, very specific time of the year, there's a time where the very top of Alaska freezes over the ocean, and you can technically get to Asia or Russia by going over that frozen water.
So it looks like you're gonna need to get a ferry that can hold cars to get from like Colombia across the Caribbean Sea. But I think that's it. You can drive everywhere else. You go through Mexico, Guatemala. That's what it looks like on here.
Yeah, all the countries below Mexico, those small ones, right? Like,
yes.
Let's see. Yeah, wait, which country touches Colombia?
You mean like doesn't touch it?
Well, it quote unquote doesn't touch it. Yeah. Does Colombia connect with North America. Okay, on the map it looks like a touch. It has to be a very, very... It's Panama.
You probably swim.
It's Panama. It's Panama. Yeah, dude, look, they touch. They 100% touch. There's no way. They have to touch. Nah.
Go for a nice little swim.
Wait. No, hold up. Do Panama and Colombia touch? There's no way. I don't believe it. They have to. Hold up. The Colombian-Panama border is 339 kilometers long. International boundaries between Colombia and Panama. It also splits the... Oh, well, that didn't answer my question. Is it possible to drive from Panama to Colombia? Here we go. Can you drive... No, you have to drive over the Panama Canal. Okay. It has to be really thin, then. That has to be thin, right? The canal between them? Yeah, dude, it looks like a whole mountain connects them. There's no way. Let me send you this. Where do they not touch? Where is it?
Yeah, what?
Did they really drill through like 339 kilometers of land just to make a small river just so they don't touch?
Is that actually a river there?
That's gotta be man-made. Hold up.
I feel like they just smushed them together.
Is the border between Colombia and Panama man-made? Are they really that stingy that they really wanted to like make it to?
They're like, no, we are separate.
The gap in question of the Pan American Highway, which is 106, it hasn't been built. Wait, okay, hold on. What separates Colombia and Panama? The Colombia-Panama border is 339 kilometers long, 211 miles, international boundary between Colombia and Panama. It also splits the Denarian Gap and breaks across this. Nothing's answering my question.
They don't want you to know. It's like classified information.
Yeah, they don't want us to know. America doesn't want us to know. It's like they tell us that there's a gap. No, there isn't a gap. Okay, if there's a gap, it's a very small river, right? If there's a gap,
it has to be. We could just take some water wings, and we could just go for it.
Just grab a boat.
Because the 300 kilometers or whatever that it was saying.
That's not talking about like how they're.
That's the border length.
Yeah,
right?
That's like the length of that small, like like where they not. It's not like the gap between the water in between them. It's that gap between the top of Panama and the bottom of Panama, right there.
Right.
Yeah, Northern Pan American Highway just ends like. Yeah, nah. This is some like Area 52 type stuff. This is, or Area 50. My bad. Area 51, but
they look connected in every single map I'm looking at.
Yeah,
it's gotta just be a stream or a river or something.
Yeah, this is Area 51 stuff. They don't want us to know. They don't want us to know. Is there like an Area like 2 or like 37 then? If there's an Area 51. Like, why is it specifically called Area 51? There's got to be, like, a... Remember when, like, the Area 51, like, memes were going on where they were going to storm the Area 51?
Yeah, and take all the aliens?
Yeah. There's no way aliens actually are in Area 51. It's probably just some, like, secret military stuff they don't want us to know about. Well, not you, because you're Canadian. They'll probably tell you, but...
Yeah, I'll go over and ask.
I'm Canadian, so I'm actually allowed to know what's in Area 51.
Yeah, if I say please and thank you, then you're obligated to tell me everything you know.
Oh, yeah, because he's Canadian, right? We can't say no to Canadian. He's too nice. I wonder how the whole alien story even started. Probably some, like, drunk dude was like, there was a extraterrestrial thing going across the sky. And then, like, everyone believed him, and now everyone's... Imagine, like, if, like, that's, like... I mean, I doubt aliens are real and stuff like that. So, I mean, like, the government... What if the government is, like, told everyone aliens are real so they can just get off their case about Area 51?
Yeah, because everything I'm seeing says it's just a government facility, like...
It's so secret, and then they gotta have some, like, nukes or something like that, right? That they just, like, don't want us to know about?
Yeah, it says it's, like, a test and training range, the United States Air Force facility.
Yeah, I mean, like, they have everything in buildings. I mean, like, whatever they have, it's probably underground, actually. That makes more sense if everything's underground.
Yeah, like a giant bunker.
Yeah. or maybe
Because
like.
you wouldn't be able to see it from overhead. Because oh wait, maybe you can't even fly over top of
Well,
it.
no,
I
there
wonder
is
if
there is pictures of overhead stuff. So I mean, there's
Hmm.
that. But I mean, when did the Area 51 like become like a well-known dot? Like hold up, when did?
I just searched it up and it said plan a trip to Area 51, $550, 4 hour and 44 minute flight.
It's probably like some Area 51 like museum or whatever.
What the hell?
Is the common name of a highly classified United States Air Force facility within Nevada and training range. Yeah, it's not even a. Yeah, it's not even like a nothing. Says it's like, I mean, I guess if the Space Force was there, but yeah, there's an airport there. It's not like there's anything like too bad. Like, what could the Air Force be hiding?
Okay, so I clicked on things to do and
Mm-hmm.
accommodations, and it said there is only one thing to do or place to see called Groom Lake.
Mm-hmm.
It's rated 4.3 stars by 1,000 people,
Mm-hmm.
and it says it's literally just a dry lake,
Mm-hmm.
also described as a salt flat in Nevada, and it's used for bombing runs.
I mean, shoot. I mean, they got to do it somewhere.
But why would you want to go there on the test site? And then it says questions and answers. It says, can this establishment accommodate 400,000 storming people? And it says, of course, as long as they don't die.
When I looked up Groom Lake, one of the first things that came up was Groom Lake GTA Myths Wiki. So. Oh yeah, there's no way it's legal to go there. That's on the highway that connects to Area 51. In fact, part of the lake is separated by the highway. Like the highway's in between the lake. Well, it's not really even a lake, but This is goofy, bro. Like what the
This
heck?
is weird.
I just want to know where the whole aliens thing come from. Like, where did the whole lie about aliens come from?
Definitely just a cover up. They were like, you know what? We got to think of something crazier than the stuff we're actually doing here.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Oh wait, crazier than what they're doing. What are they doing there? Anything crazier than the aliens must be pretty crazy. Oh no, dude. It's like, what if it's just like they're just like doing stuff that they just are like too embarrassed to admit? It's like just like stuff that people would find funny. Like like this is where like all the watermelon stuff's going on, where like they made like seedless watermelons and stuff like that, or like this is where they made like blue bananas, and they just like don't want anyone to know that like the U.S. government's funding that stuff.
They're doing like a bunch of those stupid watermelon tests where you wrap like the elastic bands around them and try and make it explode.
It's like, or like where they made different colors of like food like no one's asked for, like a red banana or like a
Oh, they made the famous blue raspberries.
blue raspberry. That's a thing. Hold up.
No, I don't think it's a thing, but it's a flavor. You'd never heard of the flavor?
Blue. Oh no, I have heard of blue raspberry, but like, is there actual blue raspberries?
Oh, not that I know of, but people would always ask. Like at my work, we used to have like a blue raspberry drink, and people would like, because it's like a tourism place, and everyone would be like, "Oh, do you have the actual blue raspberries?" And we're like, "It's not an actual thing. Like it's just a drink."
Wait, do you guys get the ingredients like to make it there, or like do you just like already have it ready for you? Like when you, like, do you know all about that stuff, or you don't work in that section, or like what? Like where's
What, like the actual thing?
Yeah, where
It
are the
was
blue
like a
raspberries at?
milkshake. It was like a milkshake.
Where are you hiding them?
with
Where are
literally
they?
like blue sugar that was like the blue raspberry.
Where are you hiding the blue raspberries? Where it's like someone like bursts through the door. Where are they at? Where are the blue raspberries? Where are you
You
hiding
just give them a bag of blue.
It's like, where are you hiding the blue raspberries? Tell me. And he like runs into like the kitchen. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
where are they? I need to find them. Or like, there's blue. I think there's like blue raspberry ice cream as well. That seems like not terrible, right? Blue raspberry ice cream.
Says there's no such thing as a blue raspberry in nature.
I mean, you can like get food coloring.
Yo, we should make them.
Make blue raspberries and sell them like as if they were grown on farms.
So we get raspberries, right?
Yeah.
And then we get like a bowl of water,
Mm-hmm.
put some food coloring in it, and then just throw a bunch of raspberries in it just to chill.
Dude, people would
Like, have
buy that.
you?
People would
I
buy that.
know. And they'd
Pe-
be like, this tastes so good. We wouldn't even have to change anything. It's like
yeah,
$1 million idea.
exactly. Like just sell blue raspberries at like a grocery store, and like everyone just wants a blue raspberry because of the the novelty of having the blue raspberry.
Did you ever do that thing? There was like a science experiment sort of thing in
At
like,
school.
at least when I was in like grade school with
Hmm.
celery. You would put like a celery stick in a cup of water and then put food coloring in the water, and it
Hmm.
would turn the whole celery stick a different color.
Nah, man, we just like dissected frogs.
This was like elementary school type stuff, like grade 2.
No, I don't remember that. I know we had made like ants on a log in elementary school where we just got celery and like put peanut butter in it and put raisins on it. That's like the most we ever did was celery. It's like, was it like we're like, are you saying like half the like celery stick was not in the water but the full thing still became blue?
Exactly, yeah, it would like grow through the stick and
No.
turn the whole thing a different color.
We never did that. I mean,
Well, we're gonna have to make these blue raspberries now.
all I want to know is like, why did we dissect frogs in middle school? Like, why did we do that? Like, what's up with frogs? Like, why frogs? You know? Did you dissect frogs in middle
Yeah,
school?
frogs and baby pigs.
Yo, no,
It was
nah,
disgusting. It
nah.
was disgusting.
Middle school?
No, in high school.
Oh, thank God. Wait, no,
We didn't
no.
do none of that in middle school.
I've never done that in my high school, so I don't really know.
It was part of science.
Well, my science classes were like, I took biology, and we never did that in biology. Baby pigs? Were they?
Yeah, so they're like, I think they were unborn pigs or something like that.
At least
They
that.
were weird looking.
I couldn't do that. I know I eat pigs like for food, but like I don't want to be the one that like
Yeah.
It's like I'm perfectly
know.
fine with eating the cow. Like who cares about a cow? But like I can't kill. You know what I'm saying?
But like, I don't know about where you are, but I've heard that like universities and stuff, they get donated, like for their whatever biology classes or whatever, um, euthanized stray cats.
Dude, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I would like refuse to do that. Like dissect a cat.
Ooh,
That's not happening. Like
yeah.
I could only see it happening in like a veterinarian school, but like still like dude, that's messed up. I don't know about that. Yeah, cat. I don't know. I like own cats and dogs. So like
Yeah.
yeah. Not wait. Do you have cats?
I don't have cats. I do have a dog.
I've had cats and dogs. I just yeah. Not. I mean I'm not even gonna go to school for like medical stuff. So I mean I'm probably not gonna ever have to run into that situation. I'm still weirded out that you. I mean I was it in biology that you dissected like baby pigs?
Yeah, I forget the actual name of it.
Because I already took biology and we never did that. So
Yeah, so it was like a different thing every year. I think another rats or something.
rat. Who wants to dissect a rat?
I know it's weird, but I think it was grade 9 frogs, grade 10 pigs.
Wait, did you take biology each year?
No, it's mandatory for grade 9 and 10, and then I dropped science classes.
Yeah, I mean I don't have any science classes anymore. I took physics and biology, and physics counts as a science class even though it's all math, which is like weird. But I mean, I
Yeah.
don't gotta take a science class anymore. Which thank God. I mean, I didn't like both of them. I hated both of them. Thought they were just like, because I'm never gonna use like any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna. I don't need to know like. Physics was like the worst of it because like I could at least see like why biology is important to know, but like physics is
Yep.
like I don't need to know like the Doppler effect. Like I don't need to know like what like I still remember some of the equations. It was like distance over time equals speed. Like I don't need to know that. It's like or like we learned like light waves and stuff like that. Like how light waves work. It's like that's cool, but like I kind of don't care. It's or like why refraction happens and stuff like that, or why reflection happens. We learned like why crashes like like not like what causes crashes, but like what happens during a crash. Like why cars will either like bounce off each other, like stick together. And it's just like all like this stuff. Like we don't need to know this stuff, dog. Like I don't. It was kind of just useless, you know.
Okay, so you have cats.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I don't know, I'm more of a fan of dogs, but if I were to ever get a cat,
Mm-hmm.
I want a serval. Have you ever seen one of those?
Sure. Well, I think I know what you're talking about, but I need to look it up.
It's like a cat that can grow up to the size of like an actual dog.
Oh, those cats.
Those are so sick.
Hold up. Let me send you this pic of one. They kind of look like an ocelot from Minecraft. Okay. I mean, this is the one I looked up, so I don't know if this is it.
Yeah, like they look like somewhat of like, I don't know, like a
Are those like? They're not like. Do you have to go through like a lot of hoops to get them, or can you just like get one like?
That's what I was trying to see. I know they're expensive, but I don't think that there's any restrictions other than if you plan on like leaving the country or something.
With them?
Yeah,
like,
with
dude,
it.
I've always wanted to own a monkey, like a really small monkey. But like, I know you got to go through like several hoops to get those, and it's probably just not worth it, you know?
Yeah, I feel like that would be very difficult.
Yeah. Or like, dude, a sloth sounds awesome. I don't know why. A sloth sounds so cool.
Oh my god, they would be so lazy.
I know, right? He'd be like me, ASF. Oh, me. That's me right there.
Literally me.
Yeah.
Play video games together?
Yeah. Hold up. Sloth owners. Let me see. Yeah, these people just be owning. Like, the sloths are like kind of cute though, you know. But like, dude,
Yeah.
I don't get how these people own like these exotic animals. Like, have you ever heard of a carcal or something like that? All it does.
Car cow?
Yeah. No, a carcal. I think that's what. Hold up. Let me see. Yeah, it's called a caracal or something like that. It's these like cat things, but all they do is like hiss at you, and like they have super sharp teeth that can kill you. And people like own these things as pets. So I just sent it to you.
Oh my god, that thing?
Yeah, people own
That's
those things
actually
as
kind
pets.
of that's kind of creepy looking.
Yeah, dude, they hiss. That's how they speak, by the way. So like, if they're like instead of like a meow, they go like, "Sss," you know, and stuff like that. And like they have sharp teeth that can kill you. They can like, it's like, I don't get, and like people that own like, freaking what's it called, like alligators and stuff like that, or like big monkeys, you know,
Yeah.
like. Those things could like just wake up and like want to kill you one day, you know.
I know.
Or like
Do
people
you
that own
remember like
tigers.
remember way back, like, I don't know, this was like many years ago, when there was like that huge thing, I think it was in Ohio or something, about the guy who owned a whole like zoo on his property and just let them all
Oh,
go?
I thought you were gonna talk about like Harambe for a second because that
No,
happened.
no,
That happened in
no.
Hawaii, in Ohio. No, yeah,
Oh, did that happen there too?
yeah, that happened in Ohio. That was in a Cincinnati zoo.
Yeah, no, like this guy had like freaking lions and bears and
Hmm.
shit, and then he just let them go one day. Because I guess,
I think I know what you're
I don't
talking
know
about.
why. And they were just roaming the streets.
This happened in Ohio, right? Pretty
Yeah, I
sure
believe so.
I heard it. I know what you're talking about. He was like, wasn't he like an exotic animal owner or something like that? Like,
Yeah.
what was he like? Was he like showing his stuff off? As if it was a zoo, or did he just like kind of have them all like low key or like?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think he was like getting paid for people to visit. I'm not entirely sure. It might have just been his like pets sort of thing.
And he just like let all them go.
Yeah, he just I don't know why.
This happened in like
I feel
2012,
like-
right?
Yeah, I want to say
Yeah,
around
yeah,
then.
it's-
It was like a while back.
Dude, oh shoot! It says owner kills self, sets wild animals free in Ohio. Crazy true story of Zanesville zoo escape.
Yeah, that's it.
Hold on. 50 exotic animals were let on the loose.
And like everything, there was like monkeys and stuff.
Dude, they said they had to gun down tigers, lions, bears, in the rainy fields about 50 miles east of Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, because they couldn't recapture them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. That's I mean, why did he do that? That's weird. Like, why would... That's kind of... The heck, dude? Like, he just
It's
owned
insane.
all these, like, animals and, like... He just decided to let them all go. He said he killed
Yeah.
himself, though, after. Which is, like... The heck? I don't know.
And I think only like a few animals were like smart enough not to leave. Like he opened all the gates and stuff, and I guess like there was like a few that stayed.
Hmm. Tiger
Those are
King.
some smart animals. Yeah, this is literally Tiger King
Type
1.0.
B. Tiger King the prequel. Or like I don't know, are they gonna have a season 3 Tiger King season 3? Wild. Oh no.
Wait, was there a season 2 of that?
Yeah, there was, but I'm pretty sure it was like way shorter than season 1. Let me see.
Yeah, I didn't even watch it. I don't even know why I watched the first one. I feel like that was like a COVID
Yeah,
highlight.
that was a very like product of like COVID type thing.
It's like a fever dream. I watched it in like 2 days and then it was just over with.
Yeah,
And I forgot about it.
It was a very like I don't know, like there's like these very two like distinct, like I think there's like COVID part 1 then COVID part 2. You know what I'm saying? Like COVID part 1 was like it first happened like Tiger King, Netflix, everything like that,
Yep.
all this stuff was going. Then there was like the depressing. Then there was like COVID part 2 where everything was just sad,
Mm-hmm.
Like COVID part 1, like since no one really in my family got affected by COVID, it was kind of like lit, honestly. Like I don't know, it was like a
It was kind of nice. Like, not gonna lie, like not
like
having to go to.
I don't want to be like it was cool, like people were done, like not that type of stuff, but it was like I don't know, it's just kind of like a different experience,
Yeah, I feel like I had just more free time to do
It was
whatever.
It was one of those you had to be there, type things.
You had to be there, and you had to be listening to the stay at home.
Yeah, it was just really weird because like it happened like when I got on spring break, so like it was just a spring break that never ended. We got 1 extra week off. I was like, oh cool, we got 1 extra week off. Then we got 2 extra week off. Then 3, then 4, and that's actually where I started my channel around that time, April 20th, which was 10 days ago, by the way. My 2-year anniversary was a couple days ago. So,
Holy!
my 2-year anniversary on the channel was April 15th, and I uploaded my first video on April 20th. I didn't really do anything for it because I've just been working on this one video. I guess this video that's coming out is going to be like an hour long. That'll be my 1-year anniversary. I'm like, honestly, like, I feel bad that it's taken me this long to make a video, Like, I haven't uploaded a video since, let me check. Because the video, when this podcast will go up before that video. I haven't made a video in 4 weeks ago. Like, since March.
Holy.
March 31st was the last time I uploaded the video. So it'll be
Wait,
a month.
what's the one you're working on?
I'll tell you after the podcast. I don't want to.
Okay.
I'll tell you after the podcast, dude. Yeah, but
Okay.
it's a big one, and I just feel bad, honestly, that I haven't done anything on it. Like, dude, SGTV season 1, Sky Gamer TV season 1 had 79 videos. Right now, season 2 has 5.
Wow, that's actually crazy. But you can blame it on not having free time,
Yeah, a lot of SGTV season 1 was during COVID and stuff like that, and like when I didn't have school.
That's like, yeah, when I started mine, it was kind of the thing. It wasn't in the middle of the pandemic, really. It was like more close to the end, but my work got shut down for like a whole month by the government. They were like, any of these types
By
of
the
jobs,
government.
you just, yeah. They were just like,
Okay,
no,
government.
you're not working.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, I have a whole month off and nothing to do. And that's literally how I started it.
Dang. And that's like kind of where it happened. Then it happened for you like a year late. What the heck? Yours came up in like 2021. This all happened like 2020. What the heck?
Yeah, I kind of missed like the original thing. I probably should have been doing that. I think I did like some
Was
random
Canada
like.
just like not doing that or something or what?
Oh no, we were on like huge
Then
lockdown.
why
Like,
was yours like your channel happened like a year like kind of after that all happened?
because I never got really I never really thought about it. Like I had tried to kind of start up a channel like before that, like when I was like just throughout high school, but I never wanted to actually like commit to it, partially because like I don't know, I didn't want people to know about it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, not for me, because like I'm super shy and like in person, I feel like weird about people knowing about it. But
Yeah.
now that I'm kind of like I'm in college, whatever, like I don't have to tell anyone about it, and if someone finds out about it, I'm like, whatever, like I don't really
you
care.
Spenny from the Collective Spenny channel. I'm your
Yo.
biggest fan. That's like the cool thing about not having to show your face. It's like the Marshmallow approach, the Marshmallow DJ dude. It's like no one knows who he is, so it's like he can just go out in public, I'm not saying I'm a big YouTuber that if I go out in public, everyone's gonna know who I am. But I'm saying like YouTubers that are bigger, that like don't show their face. I mean, they have the luxury of just not having to like go out in public and be like, oh my god, Jake Paul, oh my god, I love you, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that. Yeah, you would never have that problem.
I mean, I would never have that problem anyway, even if I did show my face, because I mean, I'm not big at all, But it's like, I mean, I guess compared to other people, since I have 14.
I would say fairly big.
I mean, for
I don't know.
Skyner's channel, it's pretty good, I'd say, right? But definitely for a Skyner's channel. But like, I'm just saying, like, in the grand scheme of YouTube's, there's like the Mr. Beasts and stuff like that. Like,
right.
Everywhere he goes, everyone's gonna know who he is and stuff. And like, even to PewDiePie, even though he's like not really doing anything anymore, to follow PewDiePie kind of happened already. But like, I bet like in his heyday, he could go out anywhere and be like, oh my god, it's PewDiePie, or like people like Logan Paul and Jake Paul, Like, Like,
yeah.
If I were to one day have 1 million subscribers, and it wouldn't be on this YouTube channel, it'd be on another one, because I have multiple other YouTube channels that I do. Like, not a lot, but I have, like, I have some ideas, I have some ideas in my head that, I might do during the summer. We'll see what happens. But, if those end up doing good, I mean, I'll probably, like, show my face, but I'll probably always be wearing, like, sunglasses and a hat, It'd be hard to kind of distinguish me.
Like an alternate universe.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I'm doing right now, honestly, on my channel. All my videos that I have skits in them. You know what I'm saying? That do you know what I'm talking about, right? Where it's like I have like skits like in my videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean those are alternate universe me's and stuff like that. Like right now, there's like an NFL Gamer TV, an NBA Gamer TV, an Among Us Gamer TV.
Wait, like channels or just names?
No, just people in my videos. Like at the end of my videos, I do skits, and they're just like dressed up differently than me. Like so NFL Gamer TV has like an NFL jersey on with like Dallas Cowboys hat. Like
Cranberry Gamer TV.
Right. I can't believe I bought like a $20 hat that says Sussy Bach on it just so I could make an Among Us Gamer TV character. all the different characters have different hats basically. And that's
actually cool.
There's a Survivor Gamer TV and there's a Minecraft Gamer TV as well. That was a big one, Minecraft Gamer TV.
Technically, Survivor Gamer TV is just you all the time.
I mean, yeah, but I don't wear a Survivor hat anymore in my videos to distinguish that. I wear, SCL Matt, right?
Yes.
I wear like a hat that has his brand on it and stuff like that.
Oh.
So, that's me now. So I no longer wear Survivor hats because there's a Survivor Gamer TV now. Actually, my first video where all like the different people came in, I was wearing a Survivor hat, but I changed it since then, and as to not confuse anyone, But like also like for Survivor Gamer TV, if I want to shorten his name, it would be SGTV, but that's already me. So I got to be like SRGTV or something like that instead, kind of like as like a nickname or whatever, I mean, like
true.
I just like filmmaking though. I've taken like film classes and stuff like that. So,
see, I was more into like photography, and it kind of doesn't correlate at all to like video making, which kind of sucks. And I don't know. I've been having like I love my MacBook, but it's doo doo. It can't edit anything. Like I was using iMovie for the longest time. Mm-hmm. And it would just like crash on me and stuff. I was like so fed up with it. I don't know if it's because of like the system itself and like its capabilities or just the app sucks. But then switched over to like Clipchamp. Like I don't want to pay like a monthly fee for an editor, especially like at this point, because like it's not really worth it in my eyes. But
I mean,
I don't know.
Shoot, my school gives us Adobe and stuff for free.
Like, that's actually crazy.
We have
though. Like,
all the Adobe products for free, and as long as you put in my school username into Adobe, paid for, just school is almost over for me. Like, like high school wise. So.
And no matter what you're taking too, like just your school in general gives. That's kind of crazy because.
Yeah, wow. All Adobe, Photoshop, Premiere, Media Coder, Illustrator, all of that. I don't have every single one. Which ones do I have?
Damn, your school's balling.
Oh God. Yeah, I have Adobe After Effects, Adobe Bridge, and Adobe Animation, even though I've never used it. Illustrator, Premiere Pro, which does all the video editing. Like that's like Photoshop and Premiere Pro are the only two I really need. Like, those are the only two I actually like need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do without Adobe Audition, which is like an audio editor, stuff like that. But like, after I'm done with high school and stuff like that, which is, you know.
Oh, an audio editor? Yeah, I just use Audacity or whatever just to record.
Yeah, once that's all over, I'm gonna have to sadly pay for the yearly subscription, which I think is like $200.
Ooh, it's a yearly thing?
Yeah. So, you know, there's that. But I mean, hopefully, I've always wanted to do YouTube as a living, honestly, and this is like the most successful channel I've ever had, which was kind of funny. I had like 2 other channels before this, actually.
What were they based around?
Let me see. So one of them was, I actually don't want to say, like, because it kind of has, like, I would say maybe like a controversial video on it, but I'll show you afterwards. It was kind of just like a everything channel, but I kind of just ended up doing commentary. I kind of stopped doing it though ever since this channel did really good. It has like 490 subscribers on it, but my most viewed video ever is on that channel. It has more views than any video I've ever posted on SGTV. It has 309,000 views.
Holy crap!
Yeah. So.
Damn.
And I also
wait, so like commentary, as in like watching and like reviewing kind of clips thing?
Yeah. I guess
that's cool.
I'll show you the channel afterwards, as well as talking about the video, because the video I would say is probably kind of controversial, honestly. Okay. And then my other channel I had was the Survivor channel.
So it was like strictly Survivor.
Yeah, strictly Survivor. Which there is a dude that has like 100,000 subscribers. It's a Survivor only channel. To be honest,
you gotta think about it. Like, you have to have a lot of people that are interested in that if it's been going on for so long.
Yeah, it's 20 years. Yeah, or 21 years, or 22 years, because it's 2022.
That's like a huge audience from like.
Yep. I mean, the most viewed Survivor episode had like 50 million viewers. So.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was the season 1 finale. Snakes and Rats, I think that's what it's called. So I mean, it's pretty big. I mean, especially like in the early 2000s, like we're talking like 2001, 2004. It was one of the most like even like people on it had more views than Friends. So like people on Friends, you know what that is, right? I feel sorry for asking you that. That's such a dumb question. But yeah, they were like people on Friends were like fanboying over like meeting Survivor players and stuff like that. Like have you ever heard of Richard Hatch? Oh no, he's like one of the more famous Survivor players. Rudy Bosch is one of them. He's like the Richard Hatch was like the first ever winner of the show. And kind of controversial now, but he got naked a lot on the show.
Isn't that like a common theme?
I mean, not anymore. I mean, it was kind of like a product of his time, you know, because like you can never do that now on Survivor. You can't really get naked on the show now, like do it like a lot. But he did it like all the time. Like he purposely did it because he knew it made people uncomfortable.
That's funny.
He was like a fat, obese. It was funny. He was a fat, obese gay dude. He was like running around like he was always naked, just every single time. Like one time he fought like a snake in the water naked. So
that's such a power move.
Yeah, and he also, this is so weird. I think it was during his second season because he played 2 times. A shark bit him. And he bit it back.
Well, that would never happen on TV today.
It wasn't like a big shark, but it was like one of those like small like tiger sharks or whatever.
What the hell?
And it bit him, and he bit it back in revenge, and then ate it later, cooked it and stuff like that.
That's insane. Yeah, okay, wait. For Survivor, how do you get on the show? Because it's like 100% legit. Like people that get on it.
Well, you can get recruited for it, which means like if you're famous or whatever. So I can be like, do you want to be on? You can be like, yeah. And there's that, but that doesn't really happen anymore. You just send it in an audition tape, and then the casting directors look at it.
Have you sent in an audition tape?
Maybe. And if I ever do get on, that'll be my face reveal. It's like,
damn, that would be such a sick face reveal.
Imagine though, like I end up like being like the editors make me look like a terrible person on the show. It's like because like the editors can do basically whatever they want to. They can make you look like the villain. They can make you look like the hero. They can like completely not even edit you, you know, and like make you invisible.
They cancel you.
Yeah, it's like I say something out there when I'm like starving and hungry that might look bad, and it's like. Everyone takes it like wrong. That's what I like. If I like am on Survivor, that's what I'm kind of scared about doing. It's like what if I say something like I don't really mean to say, but I'm just like so tired and stuff like that, you know, and I don't really realize I'm saying it, and it's just like something bad, and like everyone takes like terribly, you know. But if I were to get on the show, I would, and like to be honest, like if I were to get on the show, I would be gone for like a couple months, so there'd be like a little string of time where I wouldn't maybe upload for like 2 months. But I'd probably just say I'm on a vacation or something, like I'm taking a break. Like,
That would be so sick, though.
or like in the video I uploaded before I go, it's like, guys, I'm taking a break. Just a lot of stuff going on in my life right now, you know. So there's that, and then like 3 months later, be like, hi guys, I'm back. And the thing about Survivors, I'm pretty sure you can't really talk about it at all until after your season has aired. So I could be like, guys, I was on Survivor, but like that's basically all the extent is what I could say without getting sued.
Yeah, I think that's how it is with like every single TV show, no matter if it's like real life like that or just actually like planned or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, like the shows like Big Brother seem like planned to me, but like like after you're on it, like there's like even like the same where like apparently like until 5 years after you're done with the show, you can't talk about the ways of production, whatever that means.
Oh.
But yeah, so after you're on the show, you come back, you can't even like take pictures with other people that were on the show and like post on Instagram like you being together. Can't even do that.
That's very strict.
Yeah. Because they want to make sure like 100% like it's like no one knows, you know, until the cast comes out. And then once the cast comes out, you're allowed to talk that you're on the show, but that's basically you can't go on like any interviews and stuff until after the show's over. Like after your season, not the show itself, but like after your season, you know. So like usually after the season, a lot of people have like interviews and stuff like that. And there's like exit interviews you can have. So like after you get voted off, one of the first things you do is you have an exit interview. I don't know this because I wasn't on the show, but you know I just know because like people talk about it. That's like the only interview you can basically do is like have an interview with like some dude like right after you get voted out where you're probably pissed off and stuff like that. You probably don't want to talk to him, but you know it's like that. And then like usually the winner doesn't know they won, you know. They wait until they do it. They wait until like the show is done airing, and then they do like a live finale where the winners are revealed. But Survivor 41 and Survivor 42, since they did not know, since this Survivor 41 and Survivor 42, they were filmed last year, like March 2021, so they wouldn't know if they would be able to do a live finale, because of like COVID and stuff like that. Obviously now they probably could do it because it's very like whatever right now. But they actually revealed the winners on the show. So Survivor 41, it's finished airing. They revealed the winner, but Survivor 42 is still airing. But the winner who won Survivor 42, it's airing right now. They know. It's like they know that they won. It's kind of crazy, honestly. But I think like Survivor, and that's what the seasons are called, by the way. It's just called Survivor 41 and Survivor 42. They don't have names. There's just season 41 and season 42. But
like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but like before that, they didn't do that. Like there's never been, the only other season that was just called Survivor was Survivor 1. It was just called Survivor. But I think
makes sense.
But for like Survivor 40, seasons 43 and 44, I think they're probably gonna have like subtitles over it and stuff like that. Like Survivor, a New Era or something. Because apparently Survivor 41 was actually gonna be called Dawn of a New Era, but they decided to just not do that. Just
has it like changed a lot since like when it started?
I'll be honest, no. Not really. It's very similar. In fact, I'll talk with you after about some stuff. It's like maybe seems controversial, but I don't like what the show's really doing right now. If I'm being honest.
Ooh.
Like what? Have you ever like watched any reality shows?
No. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I don't watch shows that often. I mean, I watch like Family Guy and Bob's Burgers and stuff like that, but like nothing like reality.
Well, let me tell you, Survivor 42 is airing right now, so I'm just saying,
And I don't gotta go back to watch the old ones.
I mean, it's on Paramount Plus if you want to watch the old ones, but you can just watch it live right now. It's like they're gonna talk about what happened in the old seasons and stuff like that. So.
You know what? I might give it a try.
I'm just saying, like, if you have Paramount Plus, if you don't buy it, season 28 is like the best season ever. It's really good. And I'm saying, if you're gonna watch old Survivor seasons, watch Survivor 37 and 28. Survivor Cagayan and Survivor David versus Goliath. Really good seasons.
Okay. Wait, so how many episodes by so far for this one?
I think the 8 episode just passed, and there's usually 13 episodes. I think it's gonna go all the way until like the first week of June is when it's gonna end around.
Okay, I got time.
Let me see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, the last episode is probably gonna air on June 1st.
Mm-hmm.
They actually pushed the season back a bit. Usually it airs in February. It aired on like March 8th or something like that. So I don't really know why they did that. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, in your free time, you should watch it.
I might just do that.
All right, then. Well, do you have anything else to say? Actually, here, I'm going to end this podcast right here, guys. But real quick, shout out your channel one more time.
All right, my channel's name is Collecting with Spenny.
All right.
You can find me on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. And subscribe to him, guys, please. Go subscribe to him. He deserves it. Give him a subscription.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does. He collects stuff, as the name would suggest.
Yeah, I collect kind of too much stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and I don't know. I feel like most people would think that, like, I'm collecting stuff for YouTube, but, like, it's literally before I even had a channel. I was just
So it's more for
fully,
yourself, right?
yeah, the stuff just comes in, you know?
Guys.
Like, I have such a big backlog of games that I plan on playing some of them.
All right, then. That's cool. And guess what? He's probably going to live stream those games, too, on his channel as well, right? So...
Yes, that
Yeah.
occurs quite frequently
He
with
just played games.
honestly any type of game.
He played Sackboy, Saints Row, everything. So, yeah, he collects, and the best part is that it's with Spenny, guys. So, anyway, thank you for coming on, Spenny. This has been the 4th episode of the SGTV experience. Thank you, guys, for watching.